I feel like it's better to know than not know if you're an idiot, because a lot of people are idiots and don't know it, and they just really lean hard into being an idiot.
Yeah, and they think so hard that they're not.
Yeah.
What?
It's detrimental. Like, I catch myself being an idiot all the time, and I'm always like, thank God I realized what an idiot I'm being, or else I would have kept on being it.
Is that where the it comes from?
What?
In the last part of idiot? That's not how it's spelled. I gotta get my smart juice.
Yeah, get that going.
Oh no.
I got it. I got
Oh
you.
no, I got it.
I got it. Oops. Sorry, Darren.
Oh yeah.
Special guest Darren Thompson.
Special wholesome guest Darren Thompson. This is the wholesome episode. Hello everybody, and thank you for being here with us for the Podchaost. I'm your host Chad Johnson. Hello. Clapping from over there. It's great.
Great job.
With me right here, Emma Jonas.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm doing it. And you know what? Let's just give him a call. Actually, how are you doing? Okay, you want to just give him a call? Do this as a group?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get him. I could really use our I could really use our guest's perspective. Let me just set this recording.
Oh yeah. The podcast can be found on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Stitcher for audio. What's that other one?
Do we
What's
sign
the
that
green
exclusive deal with Spotify, or?
We are exclusively on Spotify and everything else also.
We made it.
Yeah, we're on all sorts of stuff. So just find the Podchaost. If you play VR chat, that's something that we've gotten into lately, and me and Zach have been playing some VR chat. We're gonna get Emma into that also.
I'm gonna get there.
And
I'm a late adopter.
I made I go back and forth on whether it's a mistake or not, because so everybody in the game has this crazy name and crazy avatar and everything like that, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It'll keep me honest. I'll just make myself my name. And so my name in VR chat, which is this worldwide thing where people are goofing off, and like it's your freedom to go be weird anonymously. So everybody just walks up to me. They're like, "Hey, Chad Johnson." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." So
Well,
hello.
It's a good thing at least you have a pretty generic name.
Oh yeah. It doesn't bother me, because sometimes I get creeped out like for just a minute. And I'm like, oh, it is my name. So
yeah, but then maybe
fine.
they think you're just into the football guy.
Yeah, I've gotten some of that. It also, I think, is like, it's a good hardening to being made fun of in real life, because I'm being made fun of from people all over the world.
Yeah, so it's like immersion therapy.
I was at a Taco Bell in the game, and then I grabbed a burrito and I picked it up and I went and sat down at a table, and then some girl that was a Sailor Moon character walked up to my table and said, "Wow, that's a real Chad move there." And I was like, my name's Chad and I eat burritos.
So she's right, technically.
She is right, but it's like, how is that? How can you be condescending while being that accurate? And it's also not insulting. I'm okay with it. Let's call Grant.
That reminds me, yeah, we should call Grant. I agree. That reminds me of Dylan Jenkins' joke about having his gamer tag be Dylan Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
And his roommate is playing and getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Dylan Jenkins, look him up.
Dylan Jenkins is hilarious.
Very funny Portland comic. Yeah, let's call our guest. Do we want to do any kind of intro before he's on?
This next guy's a real piece of shit. We gave him an intro pretty much on the last episode with Tony and Kayla. We talked about him quite a bit.
About Grant, what he did.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll be right back. The kids need.
I got a random story about Grant. The other night, out of nowhere, I got Kayla some flowers to cheer her up like a couple weeks back.
Uh-huh.
And I guess he messaged Kayla and got our address, and then there's a knock on the door, and they're like at 8 p.m. and then like a van was like speeding off by the time I got there, and there was roses and cookies for me.
Aww.
He's like, I wanted Tony to make sure Tony got flowers, because no one ever gets Tony flowers.
Aww.
And he wrote me a meaningful card and everything. And I was like, geez.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aggressively nice. I love it.
aggressively nice. And I know they were beautiful flowers too. I mean,
Nice.
Did he use his sage stationery and seal?
He did.
Nice.
He did.
That's great.
Hell yeah.
I have it right here.
Oh, that's great. I have one of those too.
Yeah, I was like, wow. He wrote a very meaningful card. I was like,
This is
what?
that guy.
Let's give Grant Yoder a call.
Here we go.
One of the most delightful people. Who said Emma's his favorite
Yeah, it's
just before we started recording?
I don't necessarily have it on the record officially, but it's on the record in my
Oh my
heart.
gosh.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I
no.
had my
Oh, we can't hear him.
this
Oh, why
tonight.
not? Oh, I turned this down.
That's right.
Oh, that's why.
I thought this
Oh
was
my goodness.
Tomorrow night. I got my Zoom meetings mixed up.
That's okay. You know, however you're comfortable.
Yeah,
if
whatever,
that's
One second.
whatever. It's like a massage. We're gonna massage with you, whatever you'd like, whatever
I
makes
am
you
so
comfortable.
sorry.
It's
I
okay.
can't hear you right now.
we'll just blur everything that's not
Ow.
Grant's naked upper body.
I am sorry about that, guys.
So
That's really.
can he see us?
I can see
Yes.
you. Can you see me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're hiding back there.
Oh no, I was actually kind of hoping you didn't.
Yeah, we saw a
How
whole lot
soon
of
did you start seeing me? Was it,
Just
like
just
right
now.
away?
Right now is the first instance
Yeah.
that we can.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your video just showed up.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. For no reason.
Great.
Awesome. Today is Monday.
Yes.
Correct. How do you feel about that?
I knew it was Monday this whole time.
A little off guard.
I didn't think it was Tuesday. I knew it was Monday, and that's good.
You were right the whole
Hi.
time.
Nice.
Hi, how are you guys? How the
Hey.
heck are you?
Tuesday's Lars.
Well,
That's gonna
great
be a weird
question.
one. We are good. We just talked about some stuff. I forget already.
Wow, that's great.
What did we just talk about?
We were talking about idiots
Oh yeah.
and
And you called me
Ooh.
immediately.
Oh no. Something about being down on yourself, but I need to be
I don't know.
delighted. So we're gonna.
If you want the answer to this question, just rewind the episode.
Yeah, go back.
Go back.
Let me
a little
rewind
bit.
it right now. Can you guys wait a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, hold on. We'll email you the file.
Hey, I want to say I really appreciate you guys having me on. By the way,
Oh, dude, it's our pleasure.
yeah.
did you get my thank you gift?
No, I thought this was your thank you gift.
Isn't it
Oh,
just
no.
you here in person? I mean, on.
Did you check the door of your bunker?
Huh?
Oh,
right
the
now?
bunker.
I'm just
We'd have to climb our way out of there. I mean, it's
wondering if you checked the door for the thank you gift. It's fine if you didn't.
He's
Well-
making me feel like I should get up and go look
I
behind the
think
door.
maybe
but-
you should.
Oh, you don't have to look at the door if you don't want to.
Well, Chad's gonna go climb the ladder.
I just really appreciate you guys having me on.
It's actually a
I wanna make sure
series of
that I-
ladders.
My mom would kill me if I didn't offer a host gift, right?
Yeah.
Just making me look stupid.
I mean,
Odds are I am. You never know.
he doesn't.
How are you, Emma? Things going good?
I'm feeling great now.
What happened?
Oh, this is fun.
fuck?
Well, I wanted to thank you guys for having me on.
That's
It'd be
a-
rude if I didn't.
What's out there?
Do you?
It's not a dog. If you think it's a dog, you're wrong.
What?
I really appreciate the time that you're
Oh
spending
my
with
god.
me.
What's
I
going
value
on
our
out there?
friendship.
Oh, really? You don't know?
No.
And
Holy shit.
I think a lot of times
Are
people
you
kind of bond
kidding me,
over
Grant?
food. You don't have to keep it on the stand. The stand wants to keep the ants off before you went.
No,
retrieved it
it's
from the
staying
bunker.
on the stand. My god, that is beautiful. When did? What?
When did I make it?
When did
today
you?
after work?
No, I was just
I worked a
outside
little
here.
long. I worked a little
Oh
normal.
my god, dude.
But
Are you
no, it's really-
fucking kidding me? Thank you. I don't know why my reaction to this incredibly nice gesture is to swear at you, but
No, I
thank
just
you.
really appreciate you guys having me on, and I wanted to express that to you. And
Wow.
Fuck,
No,
cut,
it's a huge
shit,
fan, so it's like a
ball
big thing for me
sack.
to be-
Is that
ass
prosciutto?
bucket. What? How do you?
When did? This is fascinating.
I don't know.
Okay, Grant, you are.
Yeah.
This is so. If you don't know Grant, I'm speaking to the audience right now. Also, for the listener,
You
Chad.
should watch the video if it's.
Yeah,
if
check
you're
out this
one
part of the video.
listeners. No, check out all the videos
yeah.
that I.
Yes, check out all the video. But if you're on the go listening right now and you got a sec to okay, I'm gonna stop my sentence.
No, keep going. No, you're perfect. I'm just so flabbergasted. Twitter
Yeah.
paid it, if you will.
Yeah,
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to help.
you're
but,
looking very Twitter pated.
It's really the the bare minimum I could have done to thank you guys.
Well,
So,
I feel
please.
like in a way you're sabotaging this episode because I'm definitely going to be eating on mic this whole time.
Oh, I think eating's great. I used to do a podcast. It's on a temporary permanent hiatus. And we did a section called Snapcast, which was my own little special podcast while my partner ate food. It was really bad to listen to.
Is there balsamic vinegar on these apples?
And apricots. Of course.
What? Holy shit, man. Okay, so
I'm not gonna
and
be
some
able to
course
talk
thoughts.
this whole time.
so Chad has just brought inside a cake, a bundt cake. Is that what that is?
It's an angel food cake.
It's an angel food cake with some beautiful fresh
homemade.
fruit. Homemade, of course.
I'm not talking from scratch. I'm not using boxes here. This is not a Betty Crocker household.
Oh, I can tell you're
But
not a
we
box
just did a
cake guy.
test call with you.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot.
Are
about
you like in a trailer outside of this place, like on the street right now?
that.
He's
I'm in
at
a mobile studio.
he's-
My studio's constantly moving around the city because you know what? People want to know where I'm at.
Grant-
I just can't let that happen.
he's just our next door neighbor.
I will
Whole
also.
time.
I have never been to your house, so this is new to me. I didn't know where you live until.
I don't know how to. I mean, thank you, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, of
so
course.
much. I don't know how to.
Eat it and enjoy it. I
No,
think that's
it's
what he
great.
wants.
No, okay, so
We can
so-
throw it in the fridge, and the cake doesn't need to be refrigerated. That cake can sit at room temperature.
No, I'm gonna eat this.
There's honey and
food.
confectioner sugar on it.
So I love doing this kind of thing and making people go, "How did you do that, though?" And that's so cool. And like, so I props very much to
Thank you.
the craftsmanship and the artistry of what you do, because we talked about how you dropped off roses and
What I do.
cookies for Tony.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he does. You know what? The man deserves some roses. And
I
always
agree.
just sincerely believe that if you don't show up and take care of the people you love for, like Tony, if I don't bring him flowers, someone else is gonna do it, and I'm gonna lose him. And I just can't. I can't let that happen. I can't.
Can't have that.
I can't stand it.
Wow.
I didn't make myself a
Well.
charcuterie board. I made a Saz rack for myself. So we
Oh.
have a Saz rack over
Do
here.
you do all the fancy stuff like you rinse the glass and then dump out the? I don't know.
Well,
they do all the fancy stuff with the
You
Sazerac.
do need to rinse the glass because it kind of opens up the whiskey as well as
Mhm.
gets rid of any debris that's in there. And then I obviously kind of wash it with some absinthe before I go because it's a Sazerac.
That's what it is.
I
Wow.
did spill some of it also, which is cool.
You are. You have many skills.
Thank you. Yeah. And I have many things that are not skills whatsoever. So
What else?
I
What
don't-
else are you hiding?
I'm still having a lot of trouble speaking
Should I-
and using my brain.
do you want me to tell you more about like my interests and
Yes.
my hobbies and stuff? I can,
just
I can give you, like-
please.
Can I
okay.
can I touch on something real quick?
Yeah, please.
Whatever this is. Ooh.
Those are mozzarella pearls, a little bit coarse salt, and fresh ground pepper.
Okay.
They're very good. I
And
just
that's
had one.
goat cheese in the middle if you need it.
Yes.
Salami, prosciutto,
Oh my god.
some naan, and then I have mixed nuts and cranberries, if I recall.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. That's all here on this plate in front of me, and I can't fucking believe it.
So, you were just talking about your podcast that is on a permanent temporary hiatus, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
also one of the things that you were mentioning to me earlier is the thing you'll never live down, which is,
Yeah.
can you just talk about that in like more detail than? 'Cause
Yeah.
Is like an ad guy or something?
Oops. Well, we got one wrong. I used to have a podcast called Pretty Neat. It was a podcast about culture, drinking, and embarrassing our wife.
Still
I did with my
available?
friend Jeff. It's available on iTunes or Pod Stitcher or whatever you get on. I'm not on Spotify. Never cracked that cookie. Couldn't figure out how to get on there.
Oh yeah, it took me a long time, and we're recently we have an exclusive contract with Spotify and everybody else as well.
See, yeah, couldn't get that one to come to roost. But we the first time. Okay, so what happened was we signed up for this site where you could get guests on your podcast, and I thought I'd sign up and I get like Jarek from Minneapolis who like reviews the same Waffle House every week, like, and I'd jump on
I
that
wanna talk to that
podcast.
guy.
he'd jump
Oh,
on
that'd be
mine.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that'd be great. We could like get this, talk to each of the audiences, but it wasn't. It was like real people. So I logged on and the guests were like doctors and CEOs and like health coaches and like thinkers and authors. And I was like, well, clearly this is not going to work out for us.
It sounds really intimidating.
So what I did was I found the most intimidating one and I emailed him and I was like, excuse me, I think you should be on our podcast. And to my surprise, he's like, yeah, absolutely. And he came on and he was the coolest guy. His name, oh gosh, I know his name. He is the president and CEO of Break the Internet LLC and a few other ad agencies out of New York. He's worked with some of the most notable companies around. And his name escapes me now, but I'll think of it later and I'll give him a shout out. But he came on. He's like, man, yeah, I don't really know why you want me on your podcast. I do a lot of like day trader podcasts and like industry podcasts, but you guys were really funny. So like, we'll see what happens. And so he just came on and like goofed around with us and dicked around for a while. And it was amazing. We had a segment that we did called Dad Off, which we did where me and my friend, we would like come up with pretend competitions for our dads to participate in. And we're like, hey, do you want to like jump in on this Dad Off? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I want to jump in on this Dad Off. And then his name, I'm so close. I'm Facebook friends with the guy. He just got engaged. Jason Berkowitz. That's it. Jason Berkowitz from Break the Web.
Jason, if you're listening,
Congratulations, Jacob. Jason. Jacob.
We're sorry, Jason. We're very sorry.
Yeah,
so he
right.
gave
Why
all
are
this
you
time
sorry?
to us. Well, we had a little oopsie with the recording. We had like a little Butterfingers moment where the recording did not work.
Did you hold down shift and press delete? Is that what happened?
Well, this man was very generous with his time, and I cannot emphasize this enough. What a guy. You know what? I was like, hey, Jason, because this was a couple years ago, how could we use, like, I just heard all this controversy about Cambridge Analytica when it comes to advertising online. And he's like, yeah, big deal. I was like, do you think maybe we could use Cambridge Analytica to advertise our podcast? And he's like, yes, you should call them. We asked him how we could use our like Facebook advertising to advertise to my friend's wife who refused to listen to the podcast, but like just her, and he was all about it. He told my dad I was very good at marketing, which was great.
I could see that.
Yeah. And then we lost it all, like a little Butterfingers moment. So
Lost it all.
Tragic.
You just lost all the audio.
Lost all the audio. There was another member of my podcast who will remain unnamed, but it wasn't me. It was a different party on our 2% podcast. And I said, Jeff, your job, I'll set this up. I'll do the talking because he's like, I don't know what to do. But your job is to make sure that this audio gets recorded. And we had a little whoopsie there. So,
What was the podcast called?
It's called Pretty Neat Podcast, a podcast about culture, drinking, and embarrassing our wives. And actually, right before we went on temporary permanent hiatus, we almost did an interview with a Democratic presidential candidate. I was texting back and forth with their campaign manager. It was Pete Buttigieg. Because I had this thought.
Oh wow!
Because this was right as everyone was like, "Hey, I'm also running for president." Yes, me too. And I'm like, man, there's a lot of people running, right? And there's enough people with small enough teams where they don't have enough like political capital right now to actually like have a big machine behind them that they don't have time to vet us, right? I'm going to send them an email and ask them to come on our podcast. And they're going to say, like, podcasts? Kids love podcasts. We want to reach the kids. Like, yeah, we'll come on. But no one's going to listen to our podcasts. They're very busy. So I was texting back and forth with the campaign manager for Pete Buttigieg. And that was right about the time when we had to cut out our podcast for a little bit. So we never brought it to fruition. But it was going to be very funny. Yeah, it was a blast. It was a very segment-based podcast where we could use it for like just like wacky segments. Like we did one called OG or OGs where my friend had to guess if a rap was something that I wrote on my way to his house or something that was rapped by an Emmy award-winning rapper. So I'd like read him the lyrics. He'd like, that one's you? I'd be like, no, I'm sorry. That's Open Mike Eagle.
Emmy award-winning?
Emmy, I don't know. Listen, it's been a couple years.
Like I think Donald Glover might be an Emmy award-winning rapper. Cause
you know what? I did have some Donald Glover in there. It was from Freaks and Geeks, if I recall.
Oh, that's a good.
An elephant never forgets, so my dick remembers everything.
Yeah, that's a good line. I like that
yeah,
one.
no, I think I had that entire rap memorized, but
nice. Haven't you rapped on stage before?
Yeah, I have a bit that ends in a rap, and it's very vulgar on purpose. Actually, so I rap kind of as a joke. It started It started in high school. We had to do music videos for our video production class, and everyone's like, "I'm gonna do a Taylor Swift song." I was like, "Screw that! I'm writing and recording my own rap." So I wrote my own rap. I did my own video, and it turned out I was actually all right at it.
So is this the mic you use to record your spits?
This is. In fact, I wrote one the other day, and I started rapping it to myself because I do that. But I have kids. I got like a 4-year-old and 5-year-old, so I have to like censor as I go. So like it'll be funny. Sometimes I'll like do a rap, or I'll like rap. Like Big Sean has amazing. He's amazing. He's so good. And I'll like start doing stuff, and I'll see how long I can go while like censoring it on the fly before I have to just stop because it can't be censored anymore. So me and my 5-year-old will be sitting around like, all right, I always got a grip. I never slip. I never panic. Got my Rolex at Pacific while I sail through the Atlantic. Like, so far, so good.
Very clean.
Right.
Yeah.
Very wholesome.
And just like a know-it-all, I always got the upper hand. And if I listened to you people, I would still be on the campus. But instead, I'm in the standard with a girl who's got some standards getting hugs in a jacuzzi while she says she's from Los Angeles, but she ain't been up for air one time. I swear she's from Atlantis. So fucking hard to have manners since I got a manner. You know what? We're done. It's just. But the other day I was going around. I wrote this new rap because what else am I going to be doing? And it goes.
I like that. I like that you're like. I just do it as a joke, but then you're like, I'm actually pretty good at it though. And if anybody ever wants to, pick me up and put me, I'm
available for labels.
I'll do it. But it's just a joke until someone takes me seriously.
It's like it's like a satire. So actually, that was the problem. Is someone told me like, man, you got to watch Dave on Hulu. I'm like,
Little Dicky.
I don't know. Yeah, it has a little Dicky in it, but like I'm not a big like dick jokes guy. I'm like, it doesn't look. It looks kind of low hanging fruit, right? He's like, no, you gotta listen to it. You gotta watch it because like he says things and it makes me think of you. I'm like, oh, that's bad. And then there's 3 or 4 things that he said that are direct quotes from me. Like at one point he's like, no, it's not a parody of rap. It's a satire of rap. I'm like, yeah, no, I said that. And then another one, he goes, I know how to commit to the joke, which is my whole thing. Like you gotta commit to the joke, hence that.
Yeah, hilarious. This is great material.
Yeah.
And then he also says, no, rap is a hypersexualized genre. So the things that I'm rapping, that's not me saying that. That's like the satirical persona rapping it. So I had this rap that I was doing that was like, yo, give me something to drop this on. I've been waiting all day like it's Ramadan. Girls holes like whack-a-moles, I be stomping them. Cross roads like crosswalks, I don't stop for them. And like I was doing that and my daughter was listening. And I was like, yo, give me something to drop this on. I've been waiting all day like it's Ramadan. She's like, that's really good, Dad. What's next? I was like, I want you to take a moment and try to censor the line, girls holes like whack-a-mole, I be stomping them. You can't do it. It just can't happen. She's really into Nintendo right now, so I end up being like, them toads like whack-a-mole, I be stomping them, which like is also pretty explicit when you really think it through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was a big mushroom in the VR chat that we were playing last night, and Zach is his avatar is Fozzie Bear for now. It was a banana with sunglasses that he'd just crawl around on the floor, and then people would start talking, and then have you played VR chat or seen VR chat?
Is he really crawling on the floor, or is he like hitting B twice?
Oh no, sorry.
What's happening here?
We're playing desktop mode because we don't have a computer
Okay.
VR, so we're just playing on mouse and keyboard.
You're not even in VR. Okay, great.
So, you know how VR chat works?
No, I don't. I haven't had the pleasure.
It's just a bunch of virtual worlds where it's a bunch of people hanging out. You can talk to each other. That's about it. You can interact by like sitting down, but it's mostly people like getting together and like doing weird things, and it's just VR gone open source. And so
Awesome.
There's people, like 8 people in a circle talking about what they're going to go do next. And Zach crawls up. He's a banana with sunglasses on. And he crawls just on the ground. And he goes, hey, everybody, stop talking. Stop it. Stop talking. And then they stop and they're looking down like, huh? And he goes, I'm a banana slug. See this? He just crawls really slowly away. Like, okay, cool. And then we have like, we have smoke breaks where we were like in a bar. And then we like had people come out and like smoke weed with us, but we're just at our computer desk. But we go to like just outside the bar in the game.
What a way to get community like in a time like this. This is amazing.
It is actually pretty cool because like there's stages and stuff. You can grab the microphone and talk to the bar, and so like makes it exciting because you can actually set events in that thing as like you can just have a stage and have a bunch
just
of
do a show.
people right there, and I feel like it'd be a lot more rewarding than the Zoom stuff, because you see a bunch of people, and when
And
they
you can hear
laugh,
them.
you can hear them. Their mouths move.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
so
Yeah, this is not a
weird how
this is
how
not
well
a-
the mouths move.
this is not a time for stand-up comedy. I have pretty early on. So first off, the last mic before everything went to quarantine, I was like, you know what? I am not gonna go and get every white man's hot takes on coronavirus. Like I'm missing this one. And then once stuff shut down, I was like, this is not the venue for stand-up comedy. I'm not gonna stand in this room and like tell jokes to a wall. We've all seen. I don't know if you guys have done this or not. If you guys have done these like online ones. Have
Emma.
you?
I've done a couple online ones, and then we've done the live streams from the theater, which are a little bit
I
different.
saw that. Totally different. Yeah, you got real
Yeah.
people.
But I've done a couple of the like Zoom shows too, which are, I mean they can be fun. I've had fun on a couple of them,
Yeah.
but most of them it's just like this is not how comedy is meant to be.
It's like flexing a new skill, though.
It is,
It's
yeah,
like finding a way to do, like Zach was saying, it's almost more sketch based.
yeah.
Yes.
Like
And
finding a way
that's-
to do what's it called? Contained, like self-contained kind of.
Yeah,
skit.
and the best
Yeah.
show that I did, one of those online shows, I did some material, but then I just interviewed Ben.
Yeah.
And like that was the best part of it, because it was like a sketch, it was something that I could never do.
She was a prop
on the
comic there
stage.
for a little while.
I was
Been
briefly.
your dog.
My
Well,
dog was a prop.
dog
I
been-
used to
a vacuum-
vacuum cleaner
That's
too.
what I'm all for. Yeah. Because like I don't know, I watched like all those late night hosts come over and like start doing it in their bedrooms, and it just I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But then I did accidentally sign up for like a bracket style competition where I was like, all right, send in your 3 sets.
I did one of those too. Lost.
I got I was a finalist, but then they brought in
Nice.
like a hometown guy from it was based out of Idaho, and they brought in like a guy that works at the theater and did it live in front of the theater, and then everyone voted for him. It's a whole thing. I was like, yeah, that's probably best.
Yeah. Well, man, comedy competitions are kind of bullshit anyway.
Well, and also
Yeah.
they can pay out and have it just kind of circle right back in.
So what I did was I had a bunch of friends. I texted them like, hey, you're on a Zoom call at 2:00. I'll see you then. And then you right?
Oh yeah, I made loud noise.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
So I filmed myself, and I had them on my computer next to me, and they were like my audience, so they would laugh as I was telling jokes.
That's great.
And I couldn't see
Nice.
them, but the camera could, and it worked out pretty well. And they also invited strangers. I was like, "Who's Tammy?" Like, there's just a man named Tammy watching me.
Oh,
fun.
cool.
Yeah, it was a
He
lot of
sounds
fun.
nice.
You know what? He was. People were like, "Who's Tammy?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know who Tammy is."
Some dude. Oh, nice. So,
Yeah.
is this like, how long have you been collecting and like building your podcast collection? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all your stuff.
Let's see. Coming up on 3 years now, probably.
Nice.
Yeah, it all started with a Christmas. I was like, what's the bare minimum I need to get going?
Yep.
And I sent my mom a list. I was like, all right, Mom, you get this microphone for me, and like I'll ask my wife at the time for this. And like I had like this whole chain where I'm like, all right, but seriously, guys, if I don't get one of these things, it will not work. Like,
Yeah. No, it's like it's like the game like Kerplunk or whatever, where you have the sticks and
Yeah.
it's like one little fucking thing comes out and then you stop doing a podcast. And it has to be just like a no exceptions. That's why,
Yep.
it's like,
Now I'm at a place now where I could have 3 different people recording podcasts at the same time independently, or
Nice.
reasonably 1 or 2 people. That way I could have like a backup for them. But if I didn't want to do any backups, I wanted to just throw caution to the wind. I could have 3 different podcasts going on at the same time.
Wow.
There was a minute there when I was thinking about doing a podcast network out of Salem.
same.
Yeah, because I was doing mine. We were getting some advertisements. I'm really good at just calling people and be like, hey, like, let us into your media screenings of your movie. And they'd be like, sure. I was like, hey, let us be press pass. Like, give us a press pass and a free ticket to your event. And they'd be like, sure, come film this or, take interviews or whatever. So I was like, I can use this because I can do it with better scale if I have lots of podcasts. I
Right.
can say, hey, I got 5 podcasts here. We all want to, advertise for Blue Apron. Like, let's make this happen, right? So we did a little bit. We did like some beer companies. We got paid mostly in beer, but like a lot of beer, which was cool. So
Score.
and we did some beer festivals in town and just kind of played to that niche. The beer festival, I harassed a lot of people about Alicia Keys. I said, hey, how do you feel about the Alicia Keys controversy? And they'd be like, it's really a shame. And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, it's bad. And they walk away, but there was none.
That's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Just like find different ways to go do whatever you want. And
yeah,
that's what podcasting really is and can turn into if you want it to. Just
that's what it was for me.
Yeah, what I want to just do is like everything that I do, if I could just set up an easy way to kind of record it and just be like, oh, well, here's some gaming stuff. Here's because like Zach wants to cook. It's like, fucking, let's do a cooking thing. Yeah,
it's content now. I want to do a cooking thing with Zach.
I really try to circumvent that word, but it really is.
Yeah, I want to do a his and hers cooking with Zach.
Okay,
I like.
I've actually started preliminary work on a his hers cookbook, or like not his hers, but that's not the term I'm using, but a couple's cookbook where like.
Oh, are you good at like food stuff? Is that a thing that you're good at?
Yeah, I love cooking. Love cooking. Yeah, that's right. I was gonna give you guys like the third message I sent on Hinge of like, what are you doing?
You still.
What happened?
What do you mean? What happened? We're sitting here. I'm having flashbacks. We're sitting here, and you're like, just go look at your door. Anyway,
it would be rude if I didn't appreciate you guys having me on. If I showed up in person, I'd be bringing a gift too. It'd be wrapped probably better, but you know.
So whenever you invite someone to do something and they don't show up with a gift, are they on your shit list forever?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So it's a one-way street.
It's not about me. It's not about what I expect from other people. It's about what I expect from me. And I actually have a bunch of weird rules for myself, like weird etiquettes that I don't care at all if someone else does it. But for me, this is how I choose to do things.
Where'd you grow up?
Here in Salem. Heart of Salem. Go Vikes.
All right.
The Vikings. Yeah.
I got nothing for that then. As
North
far as
Salem Vikings. I don't want to brag, but I was the homecoming king, so pretty exciting stuff.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could also see that.
Yeah, that
I
makes
rode
sense.
on a Model T with Lily Donnelly. Lovely lady. Great friend.
She sounds nice.
She's married with 4 kids now, huh?
I don't know what she's up to. I should see how she's doing. Make sure I should check on her.
Hold on, let me look that up on my phone real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, married, 4 kids. Yeah, no, I was right. I looked it up beforehand.
Wow, that's great. No, I have a bunch of weird rules for myself, like weird etiquettes that like no one else cares about, but I'm like, this is the way I do life. Like I don't like to use the word talked to. I like to say spoke with. I'm like, words matter. I spoke with them. I didn't talk to them.
Well, it sounds better because you don't have the consonants blending together.
1 second. I'm so sorry. Someone's calling me.
Oh, that makes sense.
Speakerphone.
I'll call you later. I'm back. Actually, I used to, with my podcast, I used to do a segment called Pitch Her This, where we would like come up with a movie idea, and then we would call a girl and pitch her this movie idea without her knowing. It was a blast. So let's see. Other things. I will never decline food if it's offered to me because I believe that food's very communal. So if someone says, do you want this, regardless of if I want it, I say, yes, please.
Yeah.
I have that same rule.
That's
why I'm eating all this food.
I don't chew gum in front of people.
Where'd that come from?
I don't like it for me. I feel like it's not what I want to be doing. Like I feel like it's.
Did it one time like bother you when someone was chewing gum and you're like, I don't want someone else to experience what I'm experiencing right now, so you know what? I'm just not going to do that around people.
No. Like I said, none of this is about what I expect from others, right? Like I don't care. I'm also this way with friendship, which is really exciting for me. Like I have a very low bar for friendship, and the reason is I expect very little from my friends. I don't care what they do. My job is to be a friend to them. And so I have a friend, and recently she told me, hey, by the way, I realized you're my friend. And I said, Elizabeth, I have been calling you my friend for 2 years. And she goes, yeah, but I kept saying you're not my friend. And I was like, I thought that was a joke. She said, no, it wasn't a joke. I told people Grant's not my friend. And I told my therapist Grant's not my friend. And the other day I'm like, I think Grant's my friend now. I'm like, well, okay.
So she has a very high standard for friendship.
Is she like 9 years old?
She's 9. Yeah, 9. Well, no, actually, I find 9-year-olds make quick friends. They walk up to each other and say, will you be my friend?
Yeah,
and
well, they're very explicit about it, yeah.
That happened recently with my daughter. Emma and I were at the park, right? You were there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some girl that was just the same size as my daughter, kind of, was like, hey, do you want to be friends? And my daughter was like, okay, I deal with this all the time. So like, sure, but I gotta go soon. So it's kind of like a thing. And girl's like, you want to play? And she's like, I really gotta be going. She looked at her fake watch and everything.
She's like, listen, I got a shift at the mall. Like, I can't stick around.
She's learned
That's
well.
great. That's great. Your daughter bullied me recently.
Yeah,
That sounds like her.
She'll get you.
Yeah, I went kayaking, and she's like, how was kayaking? I was like, it's good. I'm good at kayaking. She goes, well, you're not that good because you lost your phone in the water. Because I lost my phone in the water. I was like,
right.
well, that's actually a really good point. Thank you, child.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, she'll always find the way to make someone look like take you down just a little bit. Because like I try to be as like awesome as I can because I think I feel good when she's like, oh, that's cool that you can do that. Like,
yeah.
if I have like a personal skill or something like that, but she'll say, oh, that's awesome. But I mean, you know, the guy on TV or whatever, the guy on, you know, American Ninja Warrior, the way he lands it, way better. But I mean, like you're getting it. That's pretty cool.
I have another kid who bullies me, but like she's taken it like she didn't even. I'm sorry, am I allowed to say your daughter's name? I don't want to.
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah,
Good friend.
I appreciate it. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So I have this other kid who is bullying me. Like she's my coworker's daughter. She came to work, and her name is escaping me right now. Bianca is her name. Bianca was like, she came in. I'm like, hey Bianca, you're 9. You probably love magic.
That's a bully name for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like Bianca's like, yeah, I love magic. So I was like, do you want to see a magic trick? And I went and I got next to cards. I was like, all right, here's a magic trick. Haven't done it in a while, but let me give it a shot. And the very first time, I admit, I got it wrong. I didn't get the right card the first time.
Isn't that the worst when that happens?
Yeah. But the second time, I got the right card, right? Like, wow, how'd that happen? She goes, I mean, you still got it wrong the first time. So then I did like 4 more tricks. And I'm like, I'm pulling rabbits out of hats. Like, I'm making her mom disappear. And she's like, yeah, but, you know, that wasn't my card.
Remember that card, though? Yeah.
I was like,
It's
all
all
right,
about
I
that
gotta
first
go, Bianca.
impression.
You do you. And I left. And then later, her mom was telling me that they all went to a birthday party, her friend, and they had a magician at the birthday party. And she was telling all of the kids and the magician about this like Yahoo at her mom's work who can't even do a card trick. It's like she's talking about me to the other magicians too.
Wow.
Like Bianca, come on.
She's ruining your rep.
Yeah, like Bianca, I did not get a billboard out of your school that's like Bianca can't do math. Like I'm keeping this on the DL. I would expect the same courtesy from you. She has not extended such courtesy to me, however.
Wow. Harsh, man. Kids
Yeah.
are.
I recently messed up my. I have one card trick that my daughter knows. That's pretty much the only one I ever do.
It's very impressive.
And I recently messed it up, and she kind of just—it's not that impressive to her anymore. Just like you were saying, because she used to be like, "Dude, it's so awesome." But like one time, I was like, "Is this your card?" And she's like, "Uh-uh." And I was like, there's nothing for me to do in this moment. Okay. Well, you messed it up somehow. So you got to just blame it on them that their like mind was not ready.
Did you not focus your magic?
You didn't snap 3 times? I swear I saw you snap. Okay, fine.
Chad, you look like someone who got really into magic at some point.
Yeah, I had a magic kit. Actually, the one that my daughter has right now, the Penn and Teller Fool Everyone magic kit. It's the one I had when I was a kid, and I found that at a thrift store. Was it your thrift store?
No way.
Yeah, I think you found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my daughter, same thing.
She loves it.
That's so great. Yeah. My kids genuinely think that I'm magic, and like they'll ask me to use my magic on things.
I genuinely think you're magic also. Sorry to interrupt
pretty
you.
sure.
I'm like that wasn't. Well, I would love to use my magic to get our food quicker, but that'd be unethical. We have to wait our turn. Or looking at, I'm like, can I get my dad? Can you use your magic to get my coffee cup? And I'm like, yes, I can. Got it. Like I'm expecting it now, so I'm stocking this coffee cup. I got a plant. And then for my birthday, they got me a magic kit. It's like, well, you're already magic, so we got you this magic kit.
That's kind of. Wouldn't that be kind of insulting?
No, they're like, here are more tools to do magic.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
If
it's like
they don't
an
know that
advanced.
this is like a. Yeah, it is. It's a pretty nice
Okay.
kit. But what they really got me was 146 homework lessons.
That's
146.
you seem to like homework though.
They were like, Dad, we'll see you in a week. you better have at least half of these down. Like we're gonna do a midterm. I want to see bars being disconnected. I want to see you cut this pear in half. Like we gotta see some.
Oh, with the money inside?
We haven't gotten there. Don't tell Sarah about
Okay.
that.
That one's
She will be on my
pretty
case.
amazing.
Okay, she can't read. She can't read, so she does not know how many tricks there are, but she expects a lot.
I won't tell her.
I don't. I don't love homework, but I love. I think it's really funny to overdo things.
Oh yeah.
I think I think it's so funny to pour way too much energy into something with little or no payoff.
Right. It
And so,
is.
like,
Are you?
yeah.
I'm the same way with pranks, but pranks that don't have any negative consequence. So, like, if someone thinks
Yes.
that something like negative happened for just a second, but then it's like, oh, and then the reaction of that thing not actually happening puts them in a better mood than they were before. Like, oh, that thing isn't actually taken away from me. Cool.
I love that. Or I love pranks that have no payoff.
Yeah.
Like my ideal prank, number one, I've never done it, but I really want to, is in the middle of the night, I want to take a bunch of friends and buy a tree and go to a stranger's house and plant this tree, okay? In their front yard. But like somewhere real classy, right? Somewhere that looks nice, works with the scenery. And then I never want to see that tree again. I'm going to change all my courses. I will never go down that street. But I know in my heart that someone walked outside to get the paper and they're like, Deborah? Deborah, is that did you put the tree? There's a tree, Deborah. And Deborah would be like, there's lots of trees. She's like, no. This is a different tree. It looks nice. And like just that interaction, just knowing that happened in the world, that like that is good.
No, Deborah, I'm
I
pretty
love
sure
it.
it's a new tree. What do you think, that someone just drove by and planted a tree? What are you, a moron? I want a divorce. You're gonna.
Oh no!
Yeah, look
what have I
you
done?
did.
Oh, guys, Deborah, I'm so sorry. Deborah, wait. Although, at that point, Deborah's on the market, right?
That's true.
Yeah, then you get his. I mean, you'll
She's
see your
discerning.
tree again.
So there is a payoff.
Oh yeah, I'll come plant some more.
Yeah.
trees, no?
So your oats.
I'll go sow my wild walnuts. No, I wouldn't do a walnut tree though, guys, because obviously walnuts are big and beautiful and strong, and just like beautiful. And
Are you a walnut?
gosh, I love. But like I feel like walnuts would be too.
It's
evasive.
very presumptuous to plant a walnut tree.
Yeah.
You would want to plant like a dogwood or something.
Japanese maple.
Yeah, that's nice.
Japanese maples are good. Or like, what about a birch? Who doesn't love a birch, right?
Birch is classic.
I feel like when you walk into a birch forest, it feels like you're stepping into a fairy tale. like whenever I'm in a birch forest, I'm like, this isn't real. This is like some sort of a beautiful fairy life that I'm in. And like the trees are white here with little gold dots on them. I love this.
That's delightful.
So anyways, maybe a birch.
Yeah.
How did your kids deal with the last bit of school? Did they do it the same as everybody else with the computers?
They dealt exceptionally well because they are both too small to be in school.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you said that earlier, huh?
Can I jump back on birches for a second? I'm thinking about
Yes,
birches now.
please.
And it's reminding me of a Robert Frost poem called Birches. And it's one of my favorite lines of poetry that he has. He writes, so once was I a swinger of birches, and so I hope once more to be. And he's talking about like you're driving down the road and you see all these birches that are weighed down by the snow. But he's imagining as he drives that it's actually they're weighed down by little boys swinging on them as they do their chores. And I'm just like, I love that. He's like, I used to be that little boy and I hope to be that little boy again someday. Do you want some cake? Please.
Yeah, no, Zach just walked by and we're pointing at the things that you
Cake?
did.
I'd love for him to eat some cake.
He'd love for you to eat some cake. Who? Grant.
I made it with my
Yeah,
heart.
Grant did this.
Yeah, this is great.
Somehow.
All the food is Grant's?
Yeah.
Yeah, we started the podcast and he goes, "Look, check your front door." And these were sitting outside.
You want some?
Yeah,
And he's right here though.
Have some
He's
cake.
right here.
Have some-
And we
have some
did a
cake.
test call and called him back in like 3 minutes, and this was here in between that stuff.
He's like Batman.
I've been called worse.
He's been called worse.
Where's Rachel?
Yeah.
Where's Rachel?
Rachel.
Rachel!
He's doing the Rachel. Oh,
Batman! Scary man! Have you guys watched Pete Holmes' Batman? It's so good.
can I read one of my favorite poems?
Will you please?
I got introduced to it by the movie The Man with Two Brains.
I also have a story about poems after this, but yes,
It's called
please.
Pointy Birds.
Oh, great.
Pointy birds, pointy pointy, anoint my head, anointy nointy.
I love this. I love this. I wrote a joke about birds today, so this is perfect.
You want to tell it?
Yeah, it's not done yet, so I can get some feedback, right?
What do you call? That's
2 dead birds.
that's all he's got so far.
No, what do you call 2 dead birds? Almost a bunch of dead birds. That's my 2-year-old son's joke that he wrote by himself.
Almost a bunch of dead birds. That's a good
What do you
joke.
call 2 dead birds?
That's fun.
Almost a bunch of dead birds. And I'm all over it. And he's like,
Very
he's
good.
continued the genre because now he'll be like, what do you call 10 birds in a blender? And I'm like, what do you call it? Almost a bunch of dead birds. Like, so the joke I wrote though.
How much
'cause
is a
he's
bunch
too-
then?
More than 2, at least 10 or less than 10.
Okay.
10 or
Well,
less.
that tracks. Please go on.
So my joke, I'm realizing now it's extremely derivative of my child's jokes. It is, they say you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but like, that's not enough birds. Not for what I have planned.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah.
Gruesome.
That's not enough birds.
Well, I lost my entire joke notebook on my phone at the bottom of the Willamette when I went kayaking, so I gotta come up with
yeah.
new stuff very quick now.
I'll try to find a snorkel.
Yeah, we're going kayaking soon though, right?
Yeah,
Chad?
I would love to. I really would.
I'm going on a 9-hour kayak of the Columbia.
I would
tomorrow.
not like that.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm actually I went on a 4-hour kayak in our local river, the Willamette, from a town called Independence down to West Salem, which is kind of near where you folks are down there. And it took 4 hours, and it was for a birthday party on last Saturday. And I made friends with the guide who we had paid to take us. And she's like, man, you should just start coming with me whenever I go. Like, I'll just text you, tell you where we're going and when, and you can show up for free. No big deal. Like, just come hang out. So she's like, by the way, Tuesday, take the day off work. We're going to do a 9-hour trip on the Columbia. And immediately, because this is who I am, I just like, yes, I will be doing this.
Yeah, I could see you as a yes man, and then
Well, I'm not a yes
figure it
man.
out later.
Yeah. And then today she's texting me. She's like, hey, do you have your own whitewater helmet? Or like, do you want to borrow one? And I was like, I am in maybe literally over my head. But we'll see what happens. So far, I'm extremely confident, and hopefully it goes well.
Have you ever used one of those? Zach just farted perfectly. Have you ever used one of those inflatable kayaks?
I don't mess with inflatable kayaks.
All right.
I don't. No, I'm a solid.
That's
kayak
that was
fan.
my
Listen,
first kayak when I was young. It was like
Wow.
an inflatable for rapids. Just because the instructor
yeah.
was like, "You're not going to
Yeah.
flip it. Try to flip it. Go for it." So
I did actually. When I was little, we went camping and we went on the Santiam with inflatable kayaks. It was nice. It was good. I don't know. I feel like they're not. As sturdy as these big ones.
yeah, I could see that.
But I was gonna tell you poem stories. I have 2. Which one do you want? The first or the second?
Second.
Okay, great. So I am a single man. I'm not very good at dating. But I do have a dating app that I started using recently. But I'm not like super invested in it. I'm like, I'll just.
Are you on
joke
Raya?
around on it.
What's that?
What's Raya?
Oh,
Should I be?
it's the invite only. You have to have a certain amount of influence in pop culture and like show business.
Hey Chad, guess what? I'm gonna be on Raya. just give me a week. I'll get on it. This is my new task.
Do it.
It's so Chad, this is so dangerous for you to tell me these things. Please
no,
don't.
only the most like elite of elite, like people who they'll text you and be like, "Hey, I'm in Brazil, but like I can just fly over there real quick tomorrow if you want to hang out, go on a date, just real quick."
That's great. I will be on this app. This is my only skill in life.
Perfect.
This is the only thing that I'm good at. For instance, at work one time, they're like, "Well, we can't do this because it would use a Taylor Swift song." So I called Taylor Swift's agent and I got us the rights to the song. Like, this is the only thing that I'm good
I'm
at.
so excited for you to talk to people on Raya and ask them about
Wow.
Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah.
The Alicia Keys controversy. Yes. She seems sweet. She seems so sweet. So anyways, I was on this dating app and I came across this young lady. And I'm not really, now's not a great time to go meet people, right? So I'm not taking it too seriously. It's just dead. So I sent something that is not going to be an effective thing. I'm never going to hear back from this young lady. But it was a beautiful picture of her like hanging out and in the background you see this man who's having a conversation, and he's just so comfortable with himself and his emotions and who he is, and he's so comfortable in his friendship, and he has this like genuine smile on his face as he's chatting to his friend. So I just commented like, man.
Was that a knock?
Yeah, there's a knock.
Hold on, Ben.
Oh, you stay.
It's not me this time.
Ben.
Wait, you're both going?
All right. Well, there's yeah.
So I just commented like,
We
man,
got a couple
that guy
dogs
behind
around
you,
here.
he's having the best time. Like, he's so comfortable with himself. And
Yeah.
I sent a screenshot to my friend, like, with a game like this, how am I single? And my friend goes, why are you talking to my little sister's friends?
Ah.
And I go, what?
Ugh.
She goes, yeah, that's so-and-so. Hi.
That was a.
How are you?
Great. Please continue.
No, ask them how
Oh,
they are. I'm asking.
What? There's more out there?
It's not me. I didn't do it.
Oh, it's
For
some
real.
tamales. Cool. Please continue.
He's also bringing over salsa.
So
What? Wow, everyone's
What?
just bringing food here tonight. This is very exciting.
I skipped dinner so I could make the charcuterie.
Oh no! Come eat. Come over. Come eat.
I got busy.
Yeah, the neighbor was talking about making tamales, and then now he just brought them over. So.
Wow,
That's so sweet.
awesome.
I was too busy making an angel food cake, so I skipped dinner.
Oh,
Well,
You can-
I'll try to put a tamales
Um,
at the camera and see if you can pull it out on that side.
Yeah. Yeah.
so you're talking
Sorry.
to your friends.
So my friend's like, man, I grew up with this girl. In fact, you've been to this girl's house. Because last summer solstice, I said, hey, come with me to this party in Newburgh. And it was a George Fox professor and his wife, who was a poet, who hosted this party. Everyone there was over 50. They got a noise permit from the city. So they were blaring music until 10
Hell
o'clock.
yeah.
Literally sharp. Like the second the clock hit 10, they're like, and music off. That's what our permit said. Like, and it was the best party I've ever been to. Zach, I love you.
He says he loves you.
Zach,
He can't
Zach,
can't
give me a
hear
kiss.
you, but he wants a kiss.
Zach, give me
He
a
wants
kiss.
Zach,
Give me a
Give him
kiss.
John's here with the. Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh my
Sorry.
Give him a kiss.
Give me a kiss.
Okay.
That's nice.
Anyways, so then I realized not only do I know this young lady's parents, and not only have I been to her childhood home, but I own her mother's poetry book.
Wow.
And her mother's poetry book is dedicated to her, and it's called Real Daughter. I'm like, oh no. Thank goodness that this woman's never going to get back to me, because this is not going to work. This is not okay.
Maybe
My
she
immediate answer
does.
is like-
Maybe it's. Please go on.
No, she won't, because no one would ever respond.
Why? What did you
to the
say?
thing that I said that man behind you is really enjoying his conversation, and I'm here for it. That's not something that I'm so
I would
sorry.
respond to
That's
that.
not something. Yeah, most
I
people
would say,
don't.
do you want his number?
Oh, actually, you know what? That's the first thing I asked my friend when they said, "No, you know that girl." I was like, "Oh, no way." Hey, do you know the guy? Do you know him? Can you connect us? Because he's so like comfortable with
Yeah,
himself.
you can.
It's
You
so
can
great.
really tell sometimes.
I have another online dating poetry story as well, if you want.
Yes.
Yeah. I right before quarantine happened, I was speaking to this young lady on a dating app, and it would have been the second date I've been on since I got divorced a couple years ago. We had this whole date set up and everything, and then it got canceled with the quarantine. Everything shut down.
Recording team.
The recording team.
That too.
That's what we're brand. So she sent me this meme, and it was like, hey, you know who's really gonna bear the brunt of this quarantine is like dudes on dating apps. You know, like get ready to talk for months before you meet. Get ready for courtship. Write me a poem, Brad. We're gonna get all Jane Austen up in here. And I was like, okay, but I will write you poems now. Like this is perfect, because I would love to commit to jokes. And like,
Yeah, big
just, like,
mistake asking Grant Yoder to write you a poem.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So I started sending her poems every night, right?
They're gonna be individually published somewhere.
Well, later I found out she was on Zoom calls with her 5 best friends every time I sent her a poem.
Oh.
So like, you know that these were read to juries
Wow.
too. And then I realized I was in way over my head, because she was very into poetry and I did not know it at the time. Like she just moved up from LA, and she used to go to poetry readings in LA, like live. And then while she was here, she was like paying $30 for tickets to virtual poetry readings
Jeez.
with her favorite poets. She had poetry tattooed on her body. I'm like, oh no.
Like the word
Oh,
poetry.
No, it was called it was a poem that it was read for the poets, and it was from a poem that said, for the poets who taught me to live, I think was the line. But So then I was telling her also, like, I realized I've really kind of painted myself into a corner too. Like there's a real cliff coming with these poems because I can only write poems about like trees and grass, because the second I write a poem about a person or a feeling, she'll be like, oh crap, this strange man is writing poems about me and we've never met, and that's not okay.
Well, that's very Walt Whitman of you.
Yeah. So then she's like, oh, I didn't even think of that, but you're right. She's like, you could try, you haven't done rivers, you could do rivers. And I said, I think Langston Hughes really nailed rivers. Like, I don't know. I feel like that guy got rivers down.
True.
Chad, do you want to hear the first poem that I sent her?
Yeah.
I probably can. I think I can find it. I think I have it on my phone.
I'm excited for this.
Nice.
Yeah. So I sent. That was the whole thing though. Like, cause I took it very earnest too. Cause that was the whole joke. Was I'm committing to this. Cause I know how. You throw away the idea that I send you a poem. Like, guess what? You're getting poems.
Yeah, I've always described you, Grant, as aggressively nice.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Yep. That's absolutely how it is.
I started with a haiku because I thought like, oh, I can prove that I know what a poem is and that I'm like, I can count.
And that
like,
you're
this
disciplined.
Is all good. Yeah, exactly. So the first poem I sent her was, soft light flickers through as daisies yawn and mingle. Lie down and read slow.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Chills.
it was chills. Ooh. So anyways, it didn't work out, so I'm gonna co-opt all these poems.
I'm amazed that you two aren't.
I need to crank these. Yeah.
I'm amazed that you're not like in a beautiful relationship with this person.
Oh, you know what? I hope she's doing well. I think that she's extremely impressed. I was consistently and wonderfully impressed, and I hope that she's doing just the best.
Wow.
I hate what you just did.
What? You didn't even hear the second poem, which is like not a haiku. So like it's like more. It's not free verse either, but it's one of the patterned one. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but it has a pattern to it. Because like I need to stick to patterns. I can't go to free verse quickly, but they definitely like descended into like more and more terrible poetry. So it was great.
Nice. I wrote a haiku about Coke Zero.
Will you read it to me? Oh my gosh, please. I would love. Can I get it tattooed on my back?
Yeah. Ready?
Sight unseen. Yeah.
0 Coke Zeros. Sodas make diarrhea. I diarrhea.
I want to have that tattooed onto my heart.
Wow.
Actually, not my back.
That's good.
Thanks. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna read you more poetry, but then
You can
I
read
thought
more
better of it.
poetry.
No, that's fine. What's
You
your?
want
Let me see your tattoos.
I got 3 tattoos.
Yeah, let me see the ones right there that I can see a little bit. Is that Star Wars?
This is the very first tattoo. This is a Star Wars tattoo because I was 19 once too. We've all been 19.
Yeah, you wore a tie one day and now you have an X. Hey, look at that.
I actually wear ties a lot. I make my own ties. Do you know that I sell my own ties?
No, I'm leaving. Bye.
and I recently picked up quilting, and I've made like 50 masks.
Have you made any tapestries? I just learned what that is.
No, I think
Synonym for vagina.
Do you sew tapestries?
I don't know.
That's more.
Do you want to see my quilt?
Yes.
That's over there.
Oh, I want to see it.
You don't want to see my.
It's okay. You don't have to get it.
I don't want to bump the mic.
Yeah,
No,
I
okay.
understand.
Okay.
Be nice to Mike.
So I have this tattoo. I don't know if you can see it.
It's a UFO,
UFO.
picking up a. Hold on, up
It's
a little.
a-
Picking up a manatee.
It's a UFO abducting a
A
manatee.
sea cow, because
Wow.
they take cows.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chad. Because
Makes
you know what,
so
I
much
had
sense.
this idea. I texted my friend. I'm like, you need to draw this. I need to get this tattooed immediately, like ASAP. I checked internet. No one has it. Just me. Right?
That's great.
It's my idea. And a lot of times people will say, "What does that mean?" And I say, "Well, you know how UFOs abduct cows?" And they say, "No."
That's classic.
And then what do I? At that point, what do I say? Like, well, they do. Like, no, they're not real. Like, and I just say, well, a manatee's a sea cow. And they're like, I don't get the cow thing, man. Like,
oh man.
probably about half the time.
Oh, you could even do it like one
Oops.
step further and have a UFO abducting a mermaid. And then you'd have to just
Yeah.
really be the.
You're like,
you know how
no, but
UFOs
she's a cow.
abduct. Well, this one's a mermaid because they would do that.
Because they used to think manatees were mermaids, and like plus this mermaid, she's a cow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not disrespectful to women, but I am disrespectful to mer women. Okay, like I draw the line somewhere.
I like that you probably like that you have had to explain that way, that people have just been like,
yeah.
So what's up with your tattoo? And then it sucks when a story about a tattoo ends in like a okay.
No, literally half the time. People are like, no, I don't know how UFOs are cows. I'm like, what? Well, what were you doing in the 40s? And they're like, I wasn't born. I'm like, yeah, that tracks. Like, yeah, I'm following now. And then my most recent tattoo is right here. It is the Apollo 11 launch. It is the first manned mission to the moon. First time we got boots on the moon. Again, it was because I was like, that would be a cool tattoo. I need to get it done immediately before I think about it more. So. Yeah, it's exciting times.
I'm surprised that you don't have more tattoos since that's your process.
Yeah, well, they're expensive. They're extremely cost prohibitive.
True.
So
Mine was $45.
Where's your tattoo?
On my ankle.
Let's see it. Prove it.
Mine was free. It's a family friend.
Is it family friendly as well? Oh, it's beautiful. It's like a Converse star.
Yeah, I mean it's above that, but yeah. I don't think I even really knew what Converse were when I got it. I was just trying to be kind of rebellious and get something because my friend got a really cool cloud thing, and I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo. And I had a thing where I would I'd put patches, like iron-on patches of just an upside down star on my clothes. Like I'd buy blank shirts and just iron on an upside down star on the back or on the front.
That tracks.
And that was all that I would put there.
I like it.
Yeah, so I just put one on my ankle.
Of all the tattoos to get as an 18-year-old on impulse, that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I liked it. My friend's mom.
If I ever,
and then because I lived with I lived with my friend at the time, and then I was jumping on the trampoline, and his mom goes, "Is that fucking real?" And I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh, yeah. I guess I can't get in trouble for this." And she goes, "You're living under my house. You can totally get in trouble for this." And I was like, "Oh, then also your son has one on his back." And she's like, "Oh, what?" It was great.
Yeah. My dad never believes mine are real, and so he's like, "No, those are."
You draw
like,
them on
yes,
every time. Exactly.
He's like, "No. You wouldn't." He goes, "Son, you would not get a manatee tattooed to your body. Surely this is not real. You're trying to trick me, and I'm not gonna fall for it." I'm like, "No. It's pretty real." Or like, "Son, you would not get a spaceship tattooed on your arm. You're trying to trick me. I'm not going to fall for it." And then I'm like, "No, I got it yesterday." And then my daughter will like slap it and she'll be like, "No, if it was real, you'd be in pain." I'm like, "No, it's good. It's
Life
fine.
is
I'm
pain,
good.
Dad. You should know.
Life hurts." Yeah.
Just
yeah. So I have another idea. I want to get like a, okay. It's hard to explain without sounding like an insane person. But kind of like a Diver Bell style astronaut on this arm.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like spacey,
Yeah.
nautical, 20,000 leagues under the
Yeah.
sea style. So I think that would be super
That's
cool.
a good
Is it
idea.
going to be the, I forget what the exact name of this ghost was, but there's a Scooby-Doo episode with one of those guys in it.
It is now. This has become extremely important to me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get some flack for this. I was never a huge Scooby-Doo guy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big Cartoon Network guy in general.
Oh, they were Hanna-Barbera, but I guess Hanna-Barbera had a long stint on Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
Although my buddy's brother used to be the president of Cartoon Network.
Wow.
Wow.
These connections.
He stepped down in disgrace
Ooh.
because they did he was the one. He like started up all those classical cartoons. He started Adult Swim, launched all the things, and they did an Aqua Teen Hunger Force like viral marketing stunt in Chicago where they put up a bunch of like flashing boxes, but everyone thought they were bombs, which was bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And so he stepped down as president after that happened, and then he got like 4 other offers, went over to HGTV, and like added all the shows that everyone loves now, and now he is retired. And
Wow.
my buddy was telling him about me, and he's like, "Man, bring his resume when you come back like to Georgia." Like, so my buddy's like, "Hey, can you give me a resume?" And so I sent my resume and stuff with him, and he just sent back a bunch of Cartoon Network promo stuff. And then he almost gave me a bunch of unreleased pilots. He's like, "Yeah, give him this too." And his wife's like, "You can't give that." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I shouldn't."
Yeah, that's like the same rule as screeners and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Also here-
and as someone who's on that exclusive app, I also know that. I'm gonna get on this app, guys. Like I cannot stress enough.
That guy.
Oh, he is pretty cool. I'm gonna go a little bit more
Oh,
realistic,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
He's I think that
Also,
guy's in the intro also.
Yeah, I can
Anyway.
see that.
I love kind of that intersection between space and deep sea in like the 20,000 League Under the Sea old school oil painting look.
Have you heard of the video game BioShock?
Yeah.
Did-
I've never I played like a little bit when I was a teenager, but I've never been able to focus on video games very long. But I'm aware of it.
How old are you?
But I am 26. I had to think about it. It changes every year. It's hard to track.
Yeah, I know it is. Okay.
I'm older than I used to be, but younger than I will be. Is how old I am.
That's.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we're the same age.
I'm not on the dating app
no
with
way.
you. You can just say that's. You can
Yeah.
save that for your poetry.
No, here's the deal.
girls.
I'm 26, but I'm basically 40. Like,
That's yes. I totally agree with you because I think we were just talking before this, and you said he's almost 40, right? And I was like, yeah, or he's younger. And you're like, yeah, or he's older. We don't really know. And so I just you're not supposed to ask a lady how old she is, but I figured I'd just come out and do it anyway.
please, you ask me anything. AMA. No, I'm like I watch Out of the Box and OPB. You know, like that's how old I am.
I don't know what that is.
I watched that too.
I am
Out of the box. Out of the box.
box.
So,
Right?
Yeah,
but-
you both nailed it.
to help the fact that I'm basically 40, the reason that like one of the things that I did with this whole like space meets sea thing, I do design board games. Do you guys know this? Yeah, I develop board games.
No, I didn't know that.
So I have one called Chips, and it's like I was getting ready to do the Kickstarter video for it. I have a contract with a printer. I have everything designed and play tested. And then I got divorced right before that happened, and like I just kind of backburnered it. And I haven't, but it's completely playable. I own copies of it. And then I have another one that's half made, that's based off of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's all kind of like that weird steampunk space sea dive.
Okay,
stuff.
give me like because you've had to pitch this. Give me your elevator pitch for that second game. I want to hear how that plays.
I don't have a great elevator pitch for the second one. The second one's a really wonky pitch. I'm like, listen, guys, it's Betrayal at House on the Hill meets Catan, right? So you have your different levels, and you're collecting things as you go. And, I don't have a great. Right now, I'm still working out the mechanics and the style. But the first one is a strategy game, and the cool thing about it is it's a board game without a board, so you can actually play with as many people as you have ships. So let's say you want to play with 2 people on your conference room table, no problem. You want to play with 10 people on the floor of your dorm. That's great. It expands. It's approachable. It's great.
Yeah, if you could just next time you read through that, add a couple radicals. Add
It's radical.
dude.
Nautical.
Nautical radical dudes.
I love nautical.
Tubular. Yeah. Kids will really respond
Think
to that.
about this radical tubular
And do it in the
game.
voice of like an old sea captain, maybe.
Yeah. I was thinking like effects. Like I was thinking like a yo ho
There you go.
yo ahoy matey. Welcome to the high seas.
That's
Like,
great. Now I feel like
With
I'm
ships.
on the ocean.
I liked the
Ships, a strategy game by Grant Yoder. Move, shoot, win. Like
poop shoot.
poop, shoot, win.
Have you
I was gonna-
bought any
yeah.
new weird things for since quarantine that you're just like, fuck it, I'll just get that?
Like more than normal, more than normal, or yeah, I think so. So my birthday happened over quarantine, and I got myself a birthday present. I got myself a record player and a acoustic bass guitar.
Is that what's behind you over there?
Yeah. That's my acoustic.
Oh,
Wow.
dang it. I was
guitar.
pointing at the cello. I didn't even look at the other guitar. I was
No,
trying to
no,
make a...
that is a stand-up bass.
Or
It is not.
that
a
is not a
cello.
cello.
It is a upright bass or a double bass. Hey, do you guys know that used to be in a semi-professional symphony?
No.
No, but I'm glad I know you can play that stand-up bass?
Oh yeah. I got paid for it at one time.
No
Cool.
shit.
Okay, but like who can actually play a bass? Like I can count to 4 guys. That's what I can do. Like it's not impressive.
Can you count to 7?
Yeah,
No.
sometimes it's
I
in
don't
7.
do tangos.
Oh shit.
Come on.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to talk to you some more about that because I used to have a thing with a stand-up bassist in a basement for a comedy thing, and it was
Oh,
really
Yeah.
really cool. Except nobody came to it that often.
Yeah.
It
was a great show, though.
And the guy who played the bass was kind of
He was terrifying.
kind
it
of a
turned
little
out.
creep. So it was, he made the
Sort of like me.
made the bartenders
Makes
uncomfortable. They just were like, "Hey, can you get this guy away from me?" And
So it was like just like real jazzy, like the don't.
Yeah. yeah,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
I sent him. I was like, "Hey, listen to this Mitch Hedberg album," and then he sent me a Tom Waits album that I liked it. And I was like, "Hey, yeah, if we could just kind of blend those two things together, that'd be awesome." And that's what it was. It worked really well. The shows were great. It was during a time where I was just, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm just going to let you play that for a good 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, we could just do like an intermission. That'd be great.
I
yeah,
love it.
no, I loved that so much.
I could do like the she shot him with a tip.
Is that Goodbye Earl?
Yeah, it's whatever you think it is. Is what it is.
Oh, okay. She shot him with a... And Earl had to die. Boom, 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 boom. I get
I
it.
don't know this one.
Yeah. No,
Gotta love those chicks.
She shot him with a 10-cent pistol. He went down and hit the floor. Is that White Stripes, Black Keys?
I don't know. I was thinking of the Chicks. They're
Oh yeah, they're the chicks now.
they rebranded, which, you know, I've kind of always appreciated them.
They're great.
You
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah, they're awesome.
I'm not sure who they
The
are.
Dixie Chicks.
Love chicks though, like in general. Like big fan of ladies and everyone.
Yeah, the Dixie. You heard about that, I assume. I assume that because you're a person who
No.
looks at a screen once in a while. The Dixie Chicks rebranded, and now they are just the Chicks because the Dixie has the southern connotation.
The Dixie Chicks. I'm sorry. The chicks are so far off of my cultural radar.
Yeah, me too. But it just popped
They
up.
could have died. They could have all been like on that. They could have been on that SpaceX rocket that crashed, and I would not know about it. There's no level of like significant new. There could be a Dixie chick as like president of Brazil right now, and I would not know.
Yeah, she'd probably do a better job.
Nothing will happen that a Dixie chick is involved with that I will be aware. I don't even know who the Dixie chicks are.
They're a band.
Goodbye Earl.
That's them?
Yeah, I like that song.
Cool.
I'm so glad that you like this
About
song.
a couple of women who or actually one lady who just keeps getting hit, and then she's like, "Well, I think I just got to kill him," and then her friend's like, "Oh yeah, for sure, let's totally do that," and then they kill him, and
Yeah.
they get away with it because the cops didn't give a shit because they were like, "Guy was an asshole." They're like, "Well, let's go home." That's it.
Wow.
They
How exciting.
literally pull his
That's
body
sweet.
out of the lake, and they're like, "Well, he's dead, but he was kind of an asshole, so there's no reason to keep looking."
He looks deadish. Like you
Yeah.
know, who's to say? Who's to say? Really?
Yeah, he's dead. He's gone. That's fine.
I have a speaking of pulling your body out of the lake. I have a friend who's a medical examiner, and like every time that I am doing something somewhat dangerous, I'm like, is Teresa working this weekend? Like, because I don't want her to have to like come examine my body. That just feels impolite. So if I ever do something that I might die, I have to wait for her to be off shift.
That's very considerate of you. Aggressively.
That's extreme. Yeah.
Considerate. That's
Well, like no, I've gotten really into like night kayaking and like other things that I probably shouldn't do.
a thing you shouldn't do, probably.
It
Yeah,
sounds
no,
fun,
you
though.
should not night. And I would never night kayak.
It sounds really,
guys, but if,
really peaceful, actually. Like
It's
there's
gorgeous.
definitely things you shouldn't do at night. Like night rock climbing probably isn't very smart.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe with a headlamp. I don't know.
Are you a rock climber?
I like to climb things. Rocks aren't one of them, just because I don't want to fall onto something really hard.
Yeah.
And I know how to fall down a tree, because like if I'm 35 feet up a tree and I slip and fall, I know how to not go all the way down to the ground, just because there's a lot of stuff on the way.
It's great.
You just spread out.
One of my favorite authors is John Krakauer. He lives in Seattle now, but he is a Corvallis native, and he writes about mountain and rock climbing a lot, which like I eat that stuff up. I'm all about it.
Nice. Zach's been really into that free solo series or
was a
movie
documentary.
or documentary. There we go.
It's a documentary on Netflix. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not a big documentary guy on Netflix, for my own weird reasons. It doesn't matter, but it's a somewhat compelling one. Yeah, my favorite book that I've ever read is John Krakauer's Into Thin Air. It's about the 1996 Everest disaster. It was the most deadly climbing season on Everest ever. But what's interesting about it is he actually was there. So he had gone up on the mountain to write a story about how anyone can get to the top of Everest. And then just like this perfect sequence of events happened where all these people died. And he was literally there. He was like, in some cases, 20 feet away from them in a tent as they died outside, freezing in the cold. He didn't know. Or sometimes he was like personally culpable in their deaths. Like he was unable to save them. Like he was physically a part of it. And it's just a wonderful book that I highly recommend.
Who was the guy who, when asked why he climbed Mount Everest, said, because
it is there. It is, I know his name. He was a famous mountaineer. Why do you want to climb Mount Everest? Because he's there. It wasn't Hillary, was it?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Was it Edmund Hillary?
I think so.
Oh, man. What a line.
I'm watching a lot of Jeopardy lately.
Oh, yeah. Can we
Yeah.
get some trivia?
I feel like I'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
very good at Jeopardy.
Oh, do you?
I don't know.
Do
Let's
you?
find
You know
out,
what? I feel,
shall we?
Okay, so Grant, what I did recently is I just typed into Google. It's really easy to find complete Jeopardy question database. And since 1980, every Jeopardy question is just on this website. And so I got it, and I wanted to try to. So pause that. Zach said he left to go to halftime, which is fine. Did you see him leave?
No, he's upstairs. Isn't he?
He just texted me.
Zach?
Is there an upstairs to your house?
Yeah. I mean, no. We're at a secret
You're
underground
in the bunker. You're in the bunker. I left the food at the bunker. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But no, there is an upstairs to our house. But anyway, he ninja'd out of here. Pretty sweet stealth move.
While you do that, I'm seeing if I can log in and get any of my old games from my podcast to do for you.
Oh, that's fun. And then I can steal
Yeah.
them and use them for future episodes of this.
You know what?
That'd be really easy.
My favorite part about the podcast was coming up with all these different bits. So I did a bit called A Cry for Yelp, and it was where we found 1-star Yelp reviews, and we thought about it, prayed about it, brought it to the Lord, and came back with how we can really help these restaurants with their Yelp reviews, But the bit was that we would just we'd come up with all these ideas or we lean in and we just try and make it the worst possible according to whatever the crazy, because no sane person has ever left a 1-star Yelp review.
Right. So did you do you like the show Nathan For You?
I love Nathan
Okay,
For
so
You. It's so
were
good.
your attempts at helping, with maybe an asterisk there, these businesses, was it kind of in that vein of okay, well, we'll take something that could work if you read it out loud on paper, but when you see it put into practice, it's nuts.
Yeah. So no, ours were more. This was before I ever watched Nathan For You too. So when I found him, this is amazing. That guy's so funny.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
It's
great.
so. Yeah. We were one example was the first one we did was for so we would do a random generated town, and then we would find a 1-star thing on that randomly generated town, and we did Salem though for the first time, our hometown, my hometown, and we found this Mexican place, and they had a 1-star review because they did not take the restaurants.com coupon that was presented to them. And I was so we came up with our jokes they really need they need to be receptive, they need to be communicative staff, or we lean in. This is a restaurant that only works on coupons, right? You don't have a Jamba Juice coupon, you get no service here. Walk away. I take Jamba Juice coupons or nothing for the money. This is legal Tinder for our restaurant. It's Jamba Juice. You better turn around. You don't have a Massage Envy gift card, then get the heck out of here.
How?
We had another one where it's it tasted like the fries were frozen, and we're they only serve frozen food. In fact, they only buy food that's been made by other restaurants and then they resell it, but frozen like this. So it was like whatever the worst possible part of the 1-star review was. A lot of the 1-star reviews were racist, so we had to sift through those.
Yeah, I
Oh,
could
what
see
about
that.
them?
How is
All right, let's do
the
some
angel
Jeopardy.
food cake?
It's really good.
Emma says it's really good. Could you grab me another Rockstar from the bunker refrigerator over there? Thanks.
The angel food cake, it is a gluten-free recipe, but I did not use gluten-free flour. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's worried about gluten-free stuff in cake here. Yeah.
Let's see. I had some other fun bits that were good. So I told you about Dad Off. Picture This was fun. We did Taco Bell crawl once.
Taco Bell crawl?
Where we went. Yeah, we went to every Taco Bell in
Cute.
Salem while we recorded the podcast.
That's fun.
That was fun and bad. Yeah, it was a blast. I loved doing it because I would just like, what's the craziest thing I can come up with doing? And then I would text my friend and be like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to do some sort of like hike podcast and stuff like any
Yeah,
sort
that'd be a
of
blast.
outdoor stuff because Salem's got so many
kayaking.
good kayaking. I'm super scared to bring any of my equipment on a kayak.
Just put it in a Ziploc bag.
I've got a Zoom. I will take my Zoom recorder on kayak, no problem, if we go to the right place.
Okay. I'll practice my rolls.
There's to be no rolling in these kayaks.
Yeah.
On this kayak.
Yeah. Not with any sort of equipment. No. Do you have the skirts and everything?
No, I don't do rolling.
I guess you don't. Yeah, you don't roll, so there's no reason to have that.
I don't need a skirt. I don't need a
You're
skirt.
just
I do a lot
you're
of
just chilling.
I do a lot of reading in my kayaks.
Reading.
Like if I
Nice.
go alone, I'll go out and like I'll tie myself to a log or something and just read for a few hours in the middle
That
of
sounds
the
so
river.
nice.
Actually, you know what? One of my favorite times, I went out and I found a log sticking up out of the middle of the Willamette River, and I tied my kayak to it, and I jumped on the log, and I just laid on the log and read for 2 hours.
Hell yeah.
I read Little Women, and I only dropped it in the water once, which was good. And one time I went out at sunset with acrylic paint and a canvas, and I just painted the sunset.
No.
In my kayak. Yeah. Yeah.
God,
And
you're
then
like a
I,
cartoon of a person.
Yeah, you're
and then
like
another time.
it's like I want to have you as a grandpa, but I can have that because you're going to be around for so long. It's
Grandpa.
great.
I'll
A
be your grandpa.
Be my grandpa.
I'll be. Hey, Chad,
Yes.
you're joking. You know how this happens, though. I will commit to
Yeah,
this.
I know.
Oh yeah, careful what you wish
You're
for.
gonna be like, you're gonna turn 37 next year. I'm gonna send you $37 in your card. Like, you know, this will happen.
37 next year.
I don't know
Close
how old you
enough.
are. You're older than us.
Close
You're an old
enough.
man.
Yeah, that is close
You're
enough.
close to death. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I went out once so I went to go watch the sunset in my kayak. I like raced across town, went out, and I made new friends who, this was early on in quarantine, so it was the first human contact I had in a while. I was like, it's people. They're like, we're watching the sunset. Do you want to watch it with us? And I said, yes. And they said, would you like some avocado toast and some granola and some homemade yogurt? I said, yes, I would. And we made friends. I sat there and watched the sunset with them, and I ate avocado toast.
Wow,
It was a
that
blast.
sounds lovely.
One of them won't stop bugging me, but other than that, it's good.
All right, I'm gonna pull up
Yeah.
some actual Jeopardy questions.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
And then
Because it's gonna be
gonna
be you versus Emma. So
I'm
just
distracted by delicious cake, so you have an advantage.
yeah.
I went in there to
That's my
put the
plan.
food in the fridge, and then I saw this cake, and it was not possible for me to wait until later to eat it.
It may still be warm from the oven, actually.
It's not warm,
I
but
mean,
it's
okay, good.
perfect.
Okay. You know what? I think it's better not warm, anyways.
I love it. Please go on.
Yeah, please.
So sorry.
Because I have my game ready for you too.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I wanna. That's so exciting. Okay, I'm just gonna click on a random episode. No.
From like the last 10 years would be really good.
This is
Please
from
not the
2014.
Okay.
Okay. What were you doing in 2014, Emma?
Let's see. I was in school still. Stressing out a lot. Drinking. Taking a lot of classes. Writing a lot of essays.
That was my
Working
first
as a
year of
tutor.
comedy.
No way. Let's see. 2014. In September of 2014, my daughter was born, and in November I bought my first house.
Wow.
Okay, so
Let's do it.
I mean, this is standard. You know how Jeopardy goes, right?
I have to answer with a question.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. But
Yeah.
I'll read the categories, and then while I'm doing that, you guys figure out who's gonna go first.
While you're doing that, can I also make jerk off motions, and you just won't see them because you're distracted?
The categories are on the left in quotation marks, cool idea, best-selling authors by partial title, national animals, oldies, and newbies.
Grant, you go first.
Newbies for 100.
Newbies
Alec?
for some reason it's
How do we buzz in?
For however many. I don't
yeah,
care.
So yeah, it'll be I'll just total them up. And we'll see who gets the Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, newbie, you
I'll raise
say
my
your own
hand.
name.
Okay.
Oh, I'll say Chad's name.
You can say my name. But then
I'll say Emma. Okay.
No, don't
What?
say Emma.
Well, I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
newbies.
I won't say
Newbies
Emma.
for 200. C. Since December 2012, Enrique Peña Nieto has been president of this country.
Emma. Peru?
Grant.
What is Peru? Where is Peru?
No.
I don't know.
Meep.
Yeah. Doot.
How do I unclick it?
Freaking Argentina, right? You gotta tell us the answer though.
The answer was Mexico.
Oh,
Mexico.
should know
Where's
that.
that? Wait, what? Where?
Mexico.
Heard of
Is
it.
that not familiar.
Oh, I see. Sometimes the sound. Okay.
Do I? So I pick now.
Yeah, it is Emma. On the left, cool idea. Best-selling
Let's
authors
do
by
on the
partial-
left for 200.
On the left, in quotes, for 200. Okay, so for some reason it's not going 1-2. It's already starting at double Jeopardy prices.
Oh, okay.
So when you say 200, that is
I'll
the
do
top
4.
one.
Oh, okay.
So you want to do the second one down?
Sure.
Okay.
No one cares.
Good point.
A clumsy dancer is said to have this
Emma.
anatomical impossibility. Emma.
What are 2 left feet?
2 left feet.
Damn it!
Oh,
That is 400
Hell
for
yeah.
Emma.
do we have to?
Sorry.
Would you prefer that we wait till you're done reading the question?
No, that's fine. I'll just call on the next person, but I will finish.
Well, we
reading the
didn't
question.
establish that, so
Okay.
she's a cheater.
I will finish reading the question. Okay.
Okay. What was the best-selling authors one?
Best-selling authors by partial title: National Animals,
Yeah, it's-
Oldies, and Newbies.
Authors for 400.
400.
I started the joke where I was gonna be really mad when you got it right. I don't want us to say that. I'm done with that joke.
No, you got to commit.
Best-selling authors
commit
by
to it.
partial title: Cemetery, 1983.
Emma.
Emma,
Stephen King. Who is Stephen King?
Pet Cemetery.
an author.
Stephen King?
Yeah, that's who he is.
The
Emma,
author, though, right?
$4 more $100, Grant.
Hell yeah, I'm
Okay.
rich.
All right, we'll just go until I get to the end of this, and then we'll. So it'll probably be like 6 or 7 rounds. Okay, next. What?
I think we should wait till you're done reading the question, just in case there's a delay on Grant's end. I don't want an unfair advantage.
Okay.
'Cause that's what's been happening so
yeah,
far.
that's totally, absolutely it.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because when I'm talking, you can't. We can't hear anything you're saying because of the sound thing that
Yeah.
happens. Also,
Yeah, and that's
that is
what
that
happens.
is because of. I could see that. Yeah, that is because of. So it doesn't loop. Remember.
There's no
Remember
feedback.
how I was explaining it last week, and I was
Oh.
like, "It's the internet thing."
Yes.
It's partially, but it's more of like the feedback loop. Okay.
Okay.
On the left, cool idea. Best-selling authors: National Animals, Oldies, and Newbies.
Let's do a cool idea for 600.
Oh, 600. That's going to
Cool,
bring you.
Cool Idea is a band that I had in high school, by the way.
Nice.
That'll bring you to
Yeah.
1400 if you get this right.
Which
But it
I
will-
plan to.
It will deduct you
Yes.
to 200. Okay, cool.
I understand how Jeopardy works.
I'm explaining it for the audience.
Thank you. On behalf of the audience.
Jeopardy.
Yes, Emma, he's explaining it for Jeff Parks. Come on.
Hi, Jeff.
You know,
Sorry,
the
Jeff.
audience.
Oh yeah, we have since this is the wholesome episode this week, we have a special guest.
Why is it
I don't know
wholesome?
if you can see. Okay, Darren Thompson, everybody.
Hey, it's Darren.
Darren.
Everyone's favorite
We're
Mormon.
blessed to have Darren. I think they're called.
Wait,
I
why-
think they're called Jehovah's Witnesses now. Okay, so you
Why is
said
it, wait, why is this the wholesome episode?
because you're here.
But,
It's your
hey
fault.
guys, I'm a pretty edgy guy.
Yeah, we know, but also you're wholesome as fuck.
No, I'm super edgy and
you can be both. It's okay. We
You're
acknowledge.
radical and tubular.
He's edging all the time. Okay, you said cool idea for 600.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Dr. John Hunter has a simple way to get supplies into space. Shoot them up there with a giant one of these. Grant.
Emma. Missile? What is a missile? Who has a
No.
missile?
Emma,
Emma.
what is a block of ice?
No.
I don't know what the kind of it's a cool idea. I thought maybe
Emma, slingshot?
I like that.
Catapult.
I thought it was like a Space Force type of thing where it's, they're never really going to send a net out into space to catch a bomb.
The answer is a cannon.
Someone
Someone on the
a
show.
cannon is
What?
an upside down missile. A cannon is just an upside down missile.
It is. It really is.
I said block of ice because of the category name. Cool idea. I thought it was.
Yeah,
Okay,
I figured. Oh,
I'm explaining that for the audience.
cool was not. Cool was not in quotation marks.
Okay.
I pointed out the thing that was on with
okay.
quotation marks,
You're
and
right.
that was
It's my
left.
fault.
I
fucked
I
it up.
agree. Okay.
Let's do one more. Yeah.
Grant, you are behind with negative 600. Emma is leading with 200 right now. So
On the left,
okay.
for whatever the maximum amount is. Please.
Okay, for 1,000 on the left. This forward phrase, meaning to be abandoned to face a problem alone, is used in the game of cribbage.
Oh, I love cribbage. Alec, will you read the question once more?
This four-word phrase, meaning to be abandoned to face a problem alone, is used in the game of cribbage. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the answer, Alec?
Alec? I am quite smart. Left in a lurch.
Oh.
Left in a lurch. I've been playing cribbage for 17 years. I have never used that term.
Yeah, I've never.
I-
heard
Well, you
that.
haven't been playing right then.
Two things.
Yeah.
Number one, I love cribbage. I don't know why this is the wholesome episode. Number two,
You seem so bothered by it.
when I was in middle school, we got a bunch of like federal funding for after school clubs. So I started this club called Pegs and Pizza, and it was a cribbage club. So like
Wow.
Uncle Sam was buying us pizza every week because it was in the name.
Dude.
But we played cribbage during the club. But the secret was we didn't play cribbage. It was a con to get pizza from the school, and only the kids that I was like, yeah, you're cool, you can come, came, because they're like, well, I don't want to join a cribbage club. And I'm like, listen. There's pizza. There's no pegs. Come to the club. Like, come on.
Wow. Shit, man. You are edgy.
Yeah.
Maybe this episode isn't as wholesome as we thought it was.
It's true. I also committed a bean crime last year.
A what?
Yeah.
A bean
A
crime?
bean crime?
I also committed a bean crime. I'm pretty edgy.
What's a bean crime?
Well, what's the statute of limitations on bean crimes? Just before I tell this story.
It depends on what it is.
This story is a joke. It didn't happen for real, but hypothetically, last 4th of July, I was hanging out with my friend, and there's this apartment building downtown. It's probably about 10 stories, and I used to love this building. I used to work down near our Capitol.
Is it the
I used
one
to
that
work at
overlooks the riverfront?
No, it's not. It's a lot older and a lot more modest than that one. I don't want to name it. Should I name it? I should.
It's a
Hypothetically,
building. It's not a
called-
person.
The building's called the Lee, and
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
like this 10 or 11 story building. It's right down next to the Capitol. I used to work at the Capitol when I was like young. I was 18 and 19, and like I used to look at that building every day. I could see it from my office. I'm like, man, I wish I lived there. I wish that was my apartment, right? Like that'd be so cool. I could walk to work. I could walk to downtown, and I just like I idealized this
Go
building.
hang out on the roof. People that live there really don't appreciate it.
It's true. It's and it's beautiful too. Like this old brick building. And then last 4th of July, I'm hanging out with this friend. It's a newer friend. She goes, hey, yeah, by the way, I have I used to live in the Lee, so if you ever want to go on the roof, I still have the key. And I said, no way. I love the Lee. Like, yeah. So we went at 1 a.m. on the 4th of July.
nice.
Hypothetically at 1 a.m. to the 4th of July. up to the roof, and we're just watching fireworks across the whole city, and it's gorgeous. And they had a barbecue. It looked like they had for all the people who live there, they had a barbecue, and they had all this stuff still out. They were gonna clean up the next day. There was root beer. I might have stole a root beer. It's hard to say. As a memento, I didn't
might
drink
have
it.
stole one more than a year ago.
And then, well, so then they had this bucket of baked beans, and I was like, "Hey Emily, tell me no." And she goes, "No. What did I tell you no to?" I said, "You told me no to dumping these beans off the roof because obviously that would be super funny, right?" And she picks up the bucket. She goes, "You didn't tell me no," and walks to the edge of the roof.
Oh, so
And-
she committed the bean crime.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You
Please
think-
finish your story.
she's like, I can't get a reach at it. Here, you do it. So I took these beans. And I slowly tipped over the bucket, and they fell, but they didn't fall to the bushes below as I had planned. They actually fell like 3 stories down and hit someone's air conditioner.
Yeah.
They hit an air conditioner, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta go. We gotta leave now." Because I don't know if you've ever had like a window air conditioner, but when something touches that, it's like it's in your home.
Oh,
like,
man.
someone just like woke up out of a dead sleep, like, "There's beans. Like, there's beans in my house. What happened?" Like, I was like, "We need to leave now." So that was my bean crime because I'm super edgy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
It was I'm sorry.
Darren would
It
be
was my
ashamed.
hypothetical bean crime.
Yes. Alleged.
Judge. It was an alleged bean crime, which I have not admitted to.
All right, we got three more.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you want me to I'll go to the different questions in this one. Oh, and then we'll do a final Jeopardy.
Okay, great.
great.
Okay, the 6 wives of Henry the Eighth, weird sports, RH factor, RH in quotation marks, I'm bored, archaeology, and opera tunes. He would triple
Oh, yeah.
syllabize
And
that.
opera tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This one threw me off because I thought you were reading a question, so this makes more sense now.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm reading the
Like,
other
well, this is
categories
weird.
from the second round.
What was the second
Same
and last
episode. Archaeology, I'm bored, RH factor, RH in quotation marks,
Spell board.
BORED.
one? Okay.
Okay.
Let's do I'm bored. Is it double Jeopardy points again?
Yeah,
Okay, let's do I'm bored for 6.
goes up to 2,000 for 600. Nope, there isn't one of those.
Oh, what?
Oh wait, what?
For any amount.
Okay.
We don't care.
Yeah, so 600.
All right, 2,000.
There is this is double Jeopardy, but the first one is just labeled wrong because
Oh, good.
it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000.
1,000.
Is there a $100 question? No, it starts at 200. Doesn't it?
I don't remember.
When the game first starts,
I don't know.
you can't.
I didn't go to Jeopardy school, Chad.
Okay, I'm gonna watch. I watched like 3 seasons in the past couple days. You said I'm bored for what? 600?
1,000.
1,000.
Commentary.
It's gonna be 1,200.
You're telling me. Okay, 1,200.
I'm bored. Okay. Often found after combat, in quotes, it means weariness or exhaustion.
What?
Ooh, I know this one.
Often found after combat.
Often found after combat, it means weariness or exhaustion.
Emma?
Emma,
What is fatigue?
fatigue is correct.
Hey.
What?
You know, combat
Like,
fatigue.
But I mean, like, yeah, but like, also often found after like baking 6 dozen cookies. Also, often found after walking to McDonald's. Like, often found after eating McDonald's. Like, yeah.
Well, I
Especially
also
if it's
thought of-
McDonald's to the fat part.
I also thought of fatigues like the
Yeah.
outfit.
Maybe that's because they're very weary all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The army people.
Yeah, they're wearing.
1,200 points to Emma.
Hey.
I almost beeped in and said pooped. So yeah, you're good.
Which,
That's probably
you
one of the
earned this.
answers.
I like that.
I
Which,
get to pick again.
Puts you in control of the board here. 6 wives of Henry VIII, weird sports, RH factor, I'm bored, archaeology, or opera tunes.
Let's try opera tunes for 800.
So because I've been watching some Jeopardy, they did a little bit of opera stuff on one of the episodes, and then I realized that operas aren't in English.
No, actually, here's a fun story. I took my 5-year-old daughter, to the Cinderella opera last year, probably October. Last October, I took her to Seattle to see the Seattle Opera House Cinderella. It is a 4-hour opera. It is in Italian. It was written 300 years ago. So.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
It was magical. It was amazing.
That sounds
We had such a good
cool.
weekend, guys.
So I was thinking in my car about because I think opera is like, it's not for me. It's for people who have like whatever that brain culture stuff is. I don't know.
Fungus.
Readers. Yeah. But I thought it would be hilarious if there were an opera that was in English, because to express something with that emotion, but you're speaking English, I think would be so clunky.
I think there are some operas in English.
Really?
Yeah, or at least that have been translated into English in a way that's...
Emma, do you want to write an opera in English with
Yes.
me? And then we can perform it for chat?
Yep.
I'm actually like,
Yes.
I will do this.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, I am there. Let's
so
do
the fun thing about the Cinderella that we saw is it was written in like a time in opera where there was a lot of caricatures. There was no real character development. So like these people played like the epitome of their character. So
Blackface.
Cinderella was not good. She was goodness. And the sisters, they were not vain. They were vanities. Like there was such like one-dimensional characters in a way that was really unique to the time. It was actually a really fun opera to watch.
God damn it. Okay.
I'd watch that.
How many? How many points?
Wait, you said this was for readers. What are you reading? What are you reading right now, Chad?
I'm reading about opportunes.
Oh, amazing. Okay, we'll come back later to this. I'll ask you
No,
again.
it's all these Jeopardy questions.
Yeah, no, I want to ask
my
like what book
books?
yeah, what are you reading? Like,
We'll come back to that. Opportunes.
yeah, let's circle back.
For how many?
8.
800 points. Oops. Click it. O Columbina, the tender, faithful Harlequin is near, is from this clownish opera.
Oh, fuck.
If you get this, I forfeit.
I don't know what it's called. I don't know why I picked this category.
Pagliacci.
Oh, Pagliacci.
Is
Fuck.
Is it okay? It's Italian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
is it-
Pagliacci.
Yeah, Pagliacci.
I feel like,
Well, you haven't seen Pagliacci.
see, it's one of those things where it's like you'll never know, because like if I wouldn't have said Pagliacci, you don't know. She's just bullshitting everything.
No, yeah.
Oh, Pagliacci.
I mean, I wouldn't have gotten it, but I've heard of it. Let's move on. Your turn.
I'm just kidding. That's very impressive.
That I said, oh.
Yeah.
It's very impressive that you pretended like you knew the answer after he read the
You
answer.
did-
Yeah,
I'm very
No,
I loved
talented.
You
it.
did a really good job of convincing me.
Thank you.
Okay, Grant. Six Wives of Henry VIII, Weird Sports, RH Factor, I'm Bored, or Archaeology, or Operative.
We're gonna do RH Factor for whatever the largest amount is, or whatever really any amount
Okay.
is. I don't care.
It's not your run-of-the-life mill parallelogram.
What?
Let me read that again.
Okay.
I have to learn how to read first before I do this.
It's not your run-of-the-mill parallelogram.
It's not your run-of-the-mill parallelogram. It's classified as a special parallelogram.
Emma,
Emma,
what is a rhombus?
what is a rhombus?
Rhombus.
Is correct.
I was gonna
for
say rhombus.
2000.
Should have said it faster.
Should have said rhombus. When I read the question back to him, I'm like, it's rhombus. But I'm gonna sit on this one. I'll be cocky.
Okay, we got one more and then final. And that is Emma. What do you want?
Henry the no.
Any of those
no,
ones?
no.
No, I'm not gonna know any of those.
We don't know
I
those.
don't know all those.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
are you versed?
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
I watched a lot of
Tutor.
Tutors.
Tutors.
What was the second one?
Sounds pretty stinky. Guys, I had too much of my Sazerac. This is gonna end poorly.
Okay. On the left in quotation marks, cool idea, best-selling authors by partial title, national animals, oldies, newbies,
Let's do the authors for the highest
authors.
amount.
For the highest amount. Ready?
Yes.
Augie, 1953. Augie.
Jesus.
You're about to get fucked on points. On points.
Oh no.
Augie.
Augie.
Well, only if I don't answer right.
That's really?
Yeah.
You can buzz in but not answer?
I didn't buzz in.
That's true.
No one's bugged in.
Okay.
I don't know it.
All right, well, I'm going to go to best-selling authors by partial title.
Who was it? What was it?
Oh, none of your business.
Oh.
No, I gotta know though. I gotta buy this book, guys.
This question, see, they label it like this. It was a triple stumper. Nobody on the show got this one. And the answer is, isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
The answer is Saul Bellow.
I don't know what the book
Saul
was.
Bellow's a hack.
I was actually expecting him to go, oh, Saul Bellow.
No, I don't know anything
Right,
about him.
yeah.
I've heard
Saul,
his name,
that's-
but I don't know him.
You read Saul?
So,
Oh,
so
man,
we
you
call
love
him.
Saul.
Okay, all right. Here's the last. This is Final Jeopardy.
Okay.
I don't have the song, but just imagine it in your head. Featured in a 1933 novel, it may have been inspired by the 1920s Tibetan travel writings of explorer Joseph Rock.
Oh,
This is more of
Can you read it one more time?
Yeah. Featured in a 1933 novel, it may have been inspired by the 1920s Tibetan travel writings of explorer Joseph Rock.
What's the category?
crap! I should know this.
Fictional locales. Sorry.
Oh, locale.
It's also fictional,
Should
so
I-
that wasn't even...
Should we write our answers down and our bets?
Yes. Grant, you have -7... No, negative 1,600. Emma, you're...
I like to bet negative 1,600, please.
Oh, I see.
I'll bet everything too,
Yeah.
even though I already know the question.
Oh, I just got a groin cramp.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a weird one. I was crossing my legs for too long.
Man,
and
Alex Trebek is working hard up there, isn't he?
Woo!
Are you okay?
Yeah, no,
Do you need a
I'm
groin rub?
I'm good.
Do you need a groin
Yeah, he'll
rub?
come over and do that.
Yeah, no, he's here already.
He's just in the bathroom.
Who's that knocking on the door? Okay.
Well, I have my answer.
You have your answer. Grant, do you have an
Yeah.
answer?
I do. I'm ready to hold it up when you are.
Okay. Who do you want to answer first? Emma, so you can say that too?
Uh,
So you can say, yeah, that's what I'm gonna
No,
say.
Emma can say her answer. Yeah, you ladies first.
Okay.
Oh my god, thank you. Is it Oh, now I'm second guessing it.
Okay, Grant, you go first.
Oh, shit.
No.
Why don't
I
we go at the
insist.
same time? Is that even possible?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, let's do it at the same time.
Oh, yeah, do the...
1, 2, 3.
Xanadu?
Do you guys hear it?
No.
Do you hear what I said?
No.
I said Xanadu. I said Xanadu.
Did you?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's it, because Xanadu's from a poem, isn't it?
What's the
Is it
answer, Jen?
Shangri-La? Ooh, sorry.
Shangri-La is a real place.
Oh, yeah. Is it? I don't know. I gave my answer.
We both gave our answer and they were the same.
Sally on this episode answered, what is Bali High? Or
Oh.
he? H-I?
I don't know.
Bali-
I don't know what the right pronunciation is.
I think that would be high.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I'm really into Nepalese food lately. I've been making a lot of Nepalese food.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That's good shit.
I didn't know that. And Christy and Kay both on this episode answered correctly. What is Shangri-La?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Grant, what'd you bet? Negative 1,600?
I did. So that means I get positive 1,600, I guess.
Oh, damn it.
Aren't you
Yeah.
at 0 then?
That's brilliant.
So I'm at 0,
Yeah,
but
you-
she's beneath 0. It's a tie. She bet everything.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
you
I
didn't-
did bet everything.
Did you bet everything?
Yeah, because I knew that there wasn't any real
0. 0 to
Wow.
0 at the end. That was
good
it's-
game.
Yeah, I've been making a lot of Nepalese food, and I've also been looking at flights to Kathmandu.
I hear it's pretty cool.
You know, there was a customer at my work that called, and I nudged my coworker, and I said the word nipple like 12 times in the phone conversation. It was great. And it was fun because I would just be like, yeah, so nipple. Our specials are... And he was like, so like if someone is kind of new to English and they're just kind of trying to really just get their fucking pizza and get off the phone, it's really fun just to say stuff because you know that they're not really catching it, and they're like, is he saying the word for a nipple or whatever? You know, it's kind of a second language kind of thing. So I think it's just really confusing on the other end, and I'm really doing a disservice to every customer that goes through that. But I have to be entertained.
I recently got left some pizza on my doorstep by someone. Did you know that?
You what?
So I have a friend that works at a pizza place, and I made them a bunch of masks early on in the quarantine.
Yeah.
And to thank me, on occasion, he will leave pizza for me at my doorstep when I least expect it.
Wow.
Like leftover pizza. And last week, it was 1 a.m. on Saturday. I came home and there was pizza on my doorstep. So I texted him. I was like, hey, thank you so much for the pizza. And I came inside and I opened it. I'm like, no, whoa. This is not his special kind of business. This is a different pizza. And I remembered that I had a friend who had told me earlier in the day, like, hey, are you home? I want to leave something for you. So I was like, okay, Elizabeth probably left me this pizza, right? Like, no big deal. And then I ate the pizza, you know, mostly sure who gave it to me, because I wanted to see if my friend was going to text me and be like, don't eat the pizza. I did not leave you pizza. He didn't, which means he's a bad friend, I guess. But then I found out that the person who did leave the pizza, because I told her the story, like, yeah, Jeff never even told me. She goes, oh, yeah, well, we went to a pizza restaurant and someone left it on their plate. And we're like, well, we don't want to waste it. We'll give it to Grant. I'm like, wait, so this really was stranger pizza? Wait a minute. This really was trashed pizza off of some stranger's plate? They're like, yeah, but we figured you wouldn't mind.
Did she say something like, no, it wasn't Jeff who dropped off the pizza. He was too busy losing the audio from another podcast.
That's the Jeff, yes. Hey, Emma, what are you reading right now?
Right now I'm reading Mary Roach's Stiff. It's about about what happens to people after they die, like what happens to bodies.
I have
like,
heard such good things about that book.
It's great. She is. It's the third book of hers that I'm reading. She's just really well written, well researched, very funny, and she has really great footnotes that I really enjoy. She has the first one I read by her was called Spook. The subtitle is Science Tackles the Afterlife, so it's like a look at people who have tried to scientifically prove the existence. Oh yeah, there it is. To scientifically prove the existence of ghosts or spirits or an afterlife or the soul and stuff like that. Just like the crazy shit that people have done.
Too spooky for me. No,
somewhat spooky, very funny, very enjoyable.
Spooky.
And then she did another one about sex. That was hilarious.
I gotta borrow these books from you when I'm not. Actually, no, I need to buy these books. I don't borrow books because I feel like I'm too hard on them. Like, if I own a book and I read it, like it comes out much worse than it came in. I like to give books to people and have it be an open, like, if you never want to give this back, that's totally fine. But I just want to make sure that you read it. I do that all the time. Yeah. I will do that, and I'll like buy myself a new book. So I'm like, well, I still want to have it. Like, I'm going to read it again.
I bought this book like 3 times, and the second time I bought this book, I spent like $36 on it.
Dang.
Because I wanted it really soon, and I was drunk, and I was just like, I think if I pay a bunch of shipping, because it's like a $7 book.
Yes.
And I'll get it here really soon. And then like the next day, it was when I was married, and she was just like, dude, what?
Yes.
Like,
nothing goes down smoother than drunk book purchasing, or like when you have a really bad fever and you're buying books, and then like all of a sudden they're like, well, there's books at my door? Who bought these? What are these little treats that got left for me? Yeah.
It's pretty great, yeah.
I love buying drunk books. I just got a bookload, like a box of drunk books recently. So
what were they?
Nice.
Couple examples.
One was Flowers from My Mother's Garden, which is a collection of poetry. One was The Witch Doesn't Die in This One, which is also a collection of poetry. But right now, I was reading before, kind of early on in quarantine. I was about halfway through with Little Women, but not a lot happens in Little Women, which I used to love, because like I'm like, oh, it's so quaint. Like we're just drifting through life with these young ladies. Oh, how lovely. But once things slow down, I'm like, it's so slow. I need other things. Like I need to accomplish things, and this book's too long. So I switched and I read The Bell Jar. I read a few.
I love that one.
Kurt Vonnegut books. I read some John Steinbeck books, like just like things that could pop out real quick. And right now I'm reading a poetry book called Heaven Is All Goodbyes, and a book called I'm sorry, I haven't looked at the title too much. It's about the Kalahari River Collective. It was the Black feminist movement in the 70s. And it's really exciting. It's really good.
I like David Sedaris.
That's a book.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's just it's so easy because I can just sit down and read it for like 10 minutes and I can feel like I read something because he does a lot of short stuff in one thing.
If you ever want to do that, there's a book called Cat's Cradle by Kurt
Sounds
Vonnegut.
like dad stuff.
It is dad stuff. But
It's really funny.
It's really funny, and one of his jokes is how short his chapters are, because his whole thing during writing it was like, one chapter is whatever I could write in a day, and sometimes it's 3 sentences. So one time I went on a plane ride and I read 19 or 20 chapters of this book in a 1 hour plane ride.
Yeah,
Hey,
Vonnegut books you can just tear through. So
I
fast.
love Vonnegut. That guy's clever. He's going places. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, like
for sure. He's
one to watch.
promising young lad.
Do you guys want to play a game from my podcast?
Yeah, we got to make it quick though because we have 7 minutes left on our screen record software.
I mean, we can start a new.
Oh yeah, we can just start a new one.
But...
Actually, we'll take a quick break. I'm gonna go pee, but we'll just hang up on you and call you back in like a minute.
How long
Does that work for you?
How long is a quick break?
Like a minute.
Okay, great. I skipped dinner to get your thing. I was like, can I go make a snack in this time? Yes, I can. Okay, great.
Yeah,
let's do it.
go make a snack.
Okay. We'll call you back and we'll take a quick break.
All right. Well, this is an intermission. Have fun, guys. Hey. Hey. Thank you for having me.
Hey, welcome back.
I'm assuming it's cool if I eat here, right?
Oh yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I made gyoza.
Nice.
Is that a Nepalese dish?
No, although okay, let's get into this. So gyoza, this is a Chinese dish.
Nepo.
I helped a friend with a project for her college a while ago, and she gave me her great grandmother's gyoza recipe. She was a first generation. Well, okay, her husband's great grandmother. Her husband is a first generation immigrant from China, so these are like authentic Chinese gyoza, which is great.
What's that made out of?
So it's pork and egg. I used quail egg, and then it's green onions, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, some Napa cabbage.
Can you explain to me a little bit of a difference between regular eggs and quail eggs, other than the size?
Yes, but let me talk about dumplings for a second, real quick, because these are a form of dumpling. But a lot of people think that Nepal, specifically Kathmandu, is the dumpling capital of the world. All right, Nepalese dumplings for the Sherpa people are called momo, and they are made very similar to Chinese dumplings with a little bit more of like a Eastern influence to it, or like a Middle Eastern influence rather. So you get a little bit of a cinnamon in it and a little bit of these like spices that you don't get in Chinese dumplings. So they are typically pork or chicken or yak occasionally with cinnamon and cilantro and a few other things that you see a lot of onion in it. It's really good. So a lot of people think that like as these people came over the Himalayas, their dumplings really became defined into the momo that we find today. So people pilgrim to Kathmandu for the dumplings.
Does yak mean soft noodle?
Yes, that is Sherpa for soft noodle.
Thank you.
So quail eggs, they're a lot like normal eggs. It tastes. So you ever have like a grocery store egg versus a farm fresh egg, and like you can taste the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is kind of similar to a farm fresh egg to a quail egg. Like they're a little bit richer, they're a little bit deeper, but it's not like it tastes like a chicken egg. You're just getting a little bit more nuance to it, and a lot of people think that they help with local allergies and stuff like that. So
nice.
I also made a Cosmo.
Yeah,
wow.
Look at that thing. That's great. It's so pretty.
Fancy.
Do you do you like honey?
I do love honey, yeah.
Are you a big I like to get local honey person?
You know, I would like to get local honey. I don't use it very much. So normally when I'm like, oh crap, I need honey, like, it's a few more days before the Saturday market. I'll just go to Winco and get what I can get. Like, I prefer local honey, but I normally settle for non-local hunting.
I really enjoy the little places on the side of the road, like if you're going down to like the beach, Southern Oregon kind of areas, and then there's just little places that have like a little bee farm.
Honey.
Yeah, you can get honey there. I love that kind of honey. Different flavors.
We almost
honey butter.
I'm trying to pitch my parents.
Yeah.
My parents have a few acres. I'm trying to pitch them on raising bees.
Yeah.
What do you raise them from?
So you get a colony and
Seeds.
you buy a bee box and you move the colony into the bee box. Typically by moving the queen and they'll follow the pheromones. Hi Zach. Welcome back. Yo, give me something to drop this on. I'm waiting all day like it's Ramadan. Okay. Anyways, yeah, no, I love honey. I love honey. I love bees. Big fan.
I like bees too. I don't like hornets or wasps or yellow jackets, but I like bees quite a bit.
Bees get degrees.
I thought about using chopsticks to impress you guys, but I don't know how to use chopsticks.
Really?
So.
What? You? Okay.
Yeah, like I know how to use chopsticks.
Not well.
For all the
I'm
things.
really bad at chopsticks. I don't have a lot of motor skills.
There was a thing when I was younger, and I heard that like people to lose weight will use chopsticks. Yeah, I was fucked in the head kind of. So when I was in like middle school and high school, I was like, oh, I'll just use chopsticks often, and then I'll just start losing weight. No, I just eventually would like stab it and like try to use it as like the biggest spoon I could. So I figured out how to get the most food in my mouth with chopsticks.
See, people always said hold them like you hold a pencil. I'm like, you guys know I can't hold a pencil. Like, you know this about me. Why are you suggesting this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you pinch it in your eyelids and write it with what your handwriting looks like.
I was tracing those cards that they give you in kindergarten up until my junior year of high school. I never learned cursive. They're like, you have to learn English first. Like, keep trying.
All right, I want to hear about this game that you got.
Yeah. So the game I just pulled up, it's called OG or OGs.
OG or OGs.
OG or OGs, and I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read you a line of rap, and you have to tell me if it is a professional rapper or if it is something that I wrote on the way to my friend Jeff's house 3 years ago.
So if it's an OG lyric or OGs, it's just you.
Yeah, OGs, this is me. You guys ready? You want to start?
Yeah,
Let's
go.
do it.
All right. I come to church for the candy. Your peppermints is the truth. I'm pessimistic on Monday. If I had tweaked and missed you. You look so good with the hat on. Had to match with your shoes. I came in dressed in the satin. I came in satin your pew.
I'm going to say OG.
All right, what you thought, Emma?
I'm going OGs.
It is OG. That is Chance the Rapper from Sunday Candy.
Nice.
All right.
I'll keep score.
I sit and I spit iambic parameter, walk circles around Jericho, traverse the parameter, walking to the promised land after 40 years feeding that pedometer.
OG.
OGs.
Chad's got my number, man. That was me. That was me all along. Okay. Chicks see me, they like, goddamn, it hit so hard like Claude Van. Hanging with my Ubi like, I'm your biggest fan. Hitting up the club where I'm hitting up my fam.
OGs.
OG.
Emma? It is OGs. Chad has my number.
I suck at this game.
Okay. I got
It's
money on my
refreshing.
card and my card in her pocket. I got her name on my tongue and her picture in my locket. I got her lipstick on my shirt and her shirt in my washer. They came here if they can, but they can't. They just want to.
OGs.
OG.
Oh, Emma's got this. I wrote that.
I
wrote
did
that.
it.
Oh, nice.
I got
All
one.
right, one more. You guys want to do one more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Let's do two more to see if she can tie it up.
Okay, I'll do two more. So I'll do this one and I'll switch. I know I did. I'll have to pull it up real quick. But there's this thing in hip hop where they rap about Grey Poupon a lot. So I did a whole Grey Poupon edition. So we can do like a double Jeopardy
Wow.
at the end. Okay. No one ain't bring like me since Cambridge. I'm sticking with that same bitch. Hit that till she came rich. Doing speedball in a fast pitch. Rapping to my own niche. Doing all that thug shit. I find a hole, I plug it.
OG.
I'm going to go OG as well.
That was actually me, guys.
Oh, that seemed a
Wow.
little crass for you.
Oh,
You
come
are
on,
edgy.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard have you guys heard my rap that I do during comedy?
I mean, probably, but
Probably,
it was
maybe.
within the other 30 people that go up, and it's probably the
Yeah, but-
gnarly things that are said during that night aren't probably from you.
Yeah, but like I was your favorite, so you really paid attention.
Usually,
to me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's really sweet.
Absolutely.
In that I say big hair's like big dicks. You gotta tease it is one of the lines, and then the final line is toss them balls like ski 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 bitch,
Wow. Oh yeah, I remember that.
which I thought was really clever.
romantic.
Okay, so this one I'm gonna read you 2 lines. One is gonna be by me. One's gonna be by a professional rapper. They both use the term Grey Poupon, and I need to remember which one was me real quick. Okay. All right. 26, and I done lived a lifetime a few times. From futons to Grey Poupons. In church, trying to get savings. Yeah, a coupon. I spit that A1 every day, hidden like new proms. Or, I used to have a used one, now I have a new one. Like Cinderella with a shoe on, all of a sudden Grey Poupon. California king from my futon. Used to be lukewarm, now bitches want me like I'm Richard Karn.
Who's Richard Karn?
I will not tell you that. Mostly because I don't know. But which one's which?
So
Well, then the first one's you,
Yeah,
which was
I
already
cheated.
my inclination.
I would have guessed the first
you.
one's you also, but I did cheat, so I'm
Oh,
disqualified.
the first one's not me, actually. I'm the second one. And I will have you know that Richard Karn is Al from Home Improvement.
Oh wow, sneaky.
Do you guys want a bonus one? I have one here, and you guys can tell me if it's me or if it's someone
Okay,
else.
this
Yeah,
one's worth 2 points.
2
Ooh,
points.
Okay.
Gotta grab a Miller, get my brew on. I groove on. In the kitchen, Grey Poupon. Fruit Loops in my bowl like a motherfucking toucan.
I like that one.
That's you.
That was absolutely me. Yeah.
Okay, oh, that's 2 points.
That was me
okay.
all the way. Fruit Loops in my bowl like a motherfucking toucan. Like,
Yeah.
That's great.
I have that tattooed on my shoulder. Come on.
All right,
Love
so
it.
it's 3-3, so you have to figure out what breaks the tie right here.
Okay. Yeah. I have some. All right. I got one. Let me pull it up. Sorry, these are all 3 years old too. So like, sometimes I'm like, I gotta remember which one was which.
Toddling around.
Okay. This one might be too easy, but you let me know. Okay. I'll give you 2. You let me know which one's which. Drop it like a hot, cool it like it's entropy. I'm extroverted, dropping extra verses for some extra cheese, bitch, please. These dollars dog-eared for the dance floor, disco's dead and Dougie's on death's door. Or, scratch that. This is not a moment, it's a movement. Where all the hungriest brothers with something to prove went. Foes oppose us, we take an honest stand. We roll like Moses, claiming our promised land.
I'm going to say the first one's you.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
You guys are both right. The second one is from Hamilton.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hey, do you guys like Hamilton, by the way?
I do. I love Hamilton. I got to see it live. It was incredible.
way! I'm so jealous.
It was really cool.
I hate it.
You hate it?
No, we're gonna watch it when it's
you'll
on.
love
I don't know
this.
Disney
anything
Plus.
about it.
It's gonna happen.
Other than
You actually don't.
it's about Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander
History's
Hamilton.
painting in the wings for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Here's the thing about it, though.
It will
you
be
guys
stuck
don't
in your
have-
head.
You don't have to watch it on July 3rd because I actually am going to be performing the entirety of Hamilton as a one-man show on July 2nd, Facebook Live.
What?
Singing all the parts.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What a plug! Wow.
Yeah, Facebook Live, Grant Yoder.
That's real?
What time?
This is unreasonably real. this started as a joke, and it became so real.
That's so you.
Yeah, everything
Oh.
that you do, I think is just like a way to push yourself to do more. I think one day you were just like, I'm going to go kayaking, and someone was like, haha, right. And you're like, oh, okay, well, fuck you. I'm going to go kayaking now.
Yeah.
That's how you get into kayaking.
I don't know if you haven't listened to Hamilton. It's kind of impossible to do it all.
Yeah,
but
I'm very
I'm doing it
curious to see
regardless.
how this goes. What time are you doing that?
So I work Thursday as well. I have like a big boy job and stuff that I have to do. So after work, and I have a friend coming over. She's gonna help me. She's gonna be my production manager. So I have a bunch of name tags that I'll be putting on as I go for every time I switch parts. Which I just did a test run of this on Saturday with a couple songs. Turns out the name tags are way more difficult than I had anticipated.
I bet there's a lot of.
no.
There's gonna be a lot of switching.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, so I guess a question for you, Chad, is just like, how does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore, and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by providence, impoverished and squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar?
It's hard work, like really just
The
putting one
$10
foot in front of the
founding
other,
father
just
without a father who got
keeping
a
your
lot
head down
harder
and
by
making
working
sure
a
that
lot
you
smarter
just
by
do
being a
your
lot
work and
smarter
not really
by
worry
being
about,
self-started
the
by
people around you
14.
and just make
They
sure
placed
that
him in
you're
charge of a
doing what
trading
you
charter,
really need to
and
do
every day while slaves were being
to
slaughtered and carried
just
away
accomplish your
across the
goals.
waves, he
Your
struggled and
personal
kept
goals
his
are
guard
what's
up.
actually
Outside,
important,
he was
and
trying
when
for
people
something to
tell
be a
you
part
what
of
you
the
need to be
brother with
doing
ready to
is
bake
not
steel,
really what's
borrow
gonna
a
keep you
butter.
to
Then a hurricane
be
came
your
and
happiest that you
devastation
can
reigned.
be.
Man saw his future dripping down the drain, put a pencil to his temple, connected it to his brain, and he wrote his first refrain, a testament to his pain.
That's pretty much what I said, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you guys said the exact same sentiments.
That was unlistenable. Is there any secrets you guys want to say right now? Because no one's listening anymore. Like, can I
No, it
get?
was great.
I have to get stuff off my chest. Let me tell you about a bean crime that I did. Let me tell you about a bean crime.
Yeah, we'll drop
now
that
no one's
clip in.
listening. Yeah.
Wow, man, I can't wait to see you do that. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
You know what? So I'm gonna do the first 4 or 5 songs on Facebook Live, and the rest of it is gonna be behind a paywall. For I'm gonna donate all the money to. I'm thinking the Innocence Project, but I'm still figuring all that out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Hell yeah.
Is that for people who murder people and then they go to jail and they're like, "No, I swear I didn't do it."
It's for people who being exonerated through DNA and other evidence that was not around when they were convicted. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
John Mulaney.
I didn't know that, but that's cool. I thought it was for the bail fund thing, for some reason.
No, that would be the bail fund.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't think very much.
The such and such city bail fund. No, Innocence Project's super cool. So they go and they find people typically on. A lot of times they'll find people who are in for a significant amount of time, or they're we don't have as many here in Oregon, but other states where they have a lot of folks on death row, and they'll be like figure out that they were innocent,
Right.
and then prove it in court, which is just a super cool, extremely amazing thing that they do.
It's I said almost like exactly what it is, but in a stupid parody way.
Yeah, you did.
That's funny.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Have,
Yeah.
cool. Have you ever read any of the Ender's Game series?
No, I have never really gotten into those type of series. I've never really been into I've never read any young adult books really.
Oh.
So I didn't do Twilight or Hunger Games. Or
I hate that
you read
it's.
that?
I hate that it's in that same category. Okay.
No, I
That happens
see.
to me a lot though, because it's like one of my favorite book series, and then I'm like I tell people who read a lot, I'm like, oh, it's great, and they're like, yeah, it's for kids.
Oh,
though,
you
right?
read the child's book? You read that kid's book?
Yeah.
Do you read it to your daughter or what?
Yeah.
You breeze through it in an afternoon. What's going on here?
It's a fairly quick read, especially if you read it like 7 times like I have, but it's good.
So you read Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar, Emma?
Yeah.
I had a friend tell me do not read this during quarantine,
Oh,
no matter
yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I drove into the middle of the mountains where I had no cell service alone, and I camped for 2 days, and I read the entire thing while I was camping out for 2 days alone. They're like, screw you, I'll read it.
That's the
I'll
way
be
to do
even
it.
more isolated.
Not only will I read it, I'll read it this way. I'll read it on a kayak in the middle of the ocean.
You are.
Yeah, actually, I am thinking about taking my kayak to the bay this Saturday, or Sunday.
I used to surf on my old kayak.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Tell me everything about this. Was it a sit on top kayak or a sit inside?
No,
Oh,
it was
yeah?
a sit inside. The sit on tops are way better for it, but the sit insides are, if you know how to roll, it's really fun because you can just flip back over as long as you're not hitting your head on the ground, which I often did.
Okay, so you weren't standing on the kayak.
Oh no, sitting
Okay, I thought-
in it, like paddling
yeah.
into waves,
Okay.
and like once you go, it's really fun because you can actually ride sideways down it, and you can actually get almost inside of it. Because on terrible weather in Oregon, you can get almost 6 foot waves. It's pretty sweet.
I thought you were team wolfing this thing.
Standing on
you know?
top of it.
Standing on top. Yeah, I was so impressed. I was like, wow. I was like, I don't want to go kayaking with him anymore. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean, it's
intense.
still pretty cool to surf in a kayak.
It's, no, it's very cool. Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah,
my
it's-
daughter with card tricks all the time. Can't impress anybody around me anymore.
No, have you ever been actual surfing?
Yeah, it's not for me. I got frustrated because surfing and snowboarding are 2 things that seem like they would make so much sense for me because I'm really good at that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
You look like you would be.
But then, I tried snowboarding and I could never figure out the carve thing, and I got frustrated. I kept falling, and I just got cold, and there's a bunch of ice in my pants, and I don't like being cold. And then surfing, I practiced mostly surfing. Actually, the only surfing I've ever done is in Oregon, so I just hate being cold. So I think that mixed with not being good at something sucks for me.
You look like someone who's fallen off a skateboard about 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, I have like the worst injury I've ever had is a broken leg from skateboarding down a hill.
I used to surf a little bit. I'm a big guy. I'm not made for surfing. I'm not made for skateboarding. I'm 6'5". Like my center balance, like they're like, no one 6'5" will ever use this, right? Yeah, they're like, no, we won't. Actually, let me show you. I'm just a giant person in general. So I got this new cup recently that I'm really excited about. Looks like a new cup, right? Looks like a normal cup. This is a vase.
That's great.
This is a vase, and it looks normal in my hands, and I'm so excited because like every time I drink water, I'm like, well, it's gone.
I like that it does go from your mouth to the center of like your, like in between your eyes. Usually a cup will go like to the center nose, but it's like up here.
It does.
Yeah.
No, it goes to my.
Yeah, no, it's all the way up there.
Congratulations.
It's big enough.
Yeah,
it's what it is. I'm so excited about it.
It matches the size of your head and still looks big.
And guys, my head is huge.
Yeah, no, it is.
I cannot emphasize enough how huge my head is. It's okay. I gotta tell you, when I was telling my coworkers today, we had a meeting. I was like, yeah, and I gotta like make this charcuterie board, and I gotta make this cake real quick, and I was trying to explain to them what I was doing, and my coworker just like sat there on the Zoom call. She's like, I think you should find a psychoanalyst and tell them what you told me, and just see what they're gonna say about it. I'm like, what? This sounds
Now
like a
there's
great
a
idea.
podcast.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
It's like I don't see any issues with this idea. It sounds good to me.
It would be funny to break down like why you are the way that you are.
No one needs to know why I am the way I am. No one needs. Okay, first off, no one needs me to be the way that I am, and they certainly don't.
Yeah, I guess it's more
know
like why poke the thing that is so nice, and you don't want it
outwardly.
Yeah, you don't want it to like break apart and just through too much
like
observation.
at what point do you realize that I'm just compensating for having no emotions?
Right.
Exactly. And for all the terrible crimes that I've committed. Absolutely.
All those bean crimes.
Bean crimes and otherwise. Bean crimes and otherwise. Have you guys done anything crazy during the quarantine? Have you guys like got new hobbies or like? Oh, Emma, I brought my quilt. To show you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to see that.
I made this quilt while I was talking to that young lady that I built the poems for, and she was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I'm like, "Well, I'm working on my quilt." And she's like, "Wait, you quilt?" I was like, "Well, as of today, I quilt." So this is the quilt that I made.
Wow.
For those of you who are not on our video chat, it is a quilt.
It's lovely.
Take my word, it's very impressive. For those who are not on the video chat,
Got naked
Just
dudes
don't-
all over it. That's I like that.
Yeah,
touch.
Yeah.
It's covered with some of my favorite art, which is naked dudes.
Yeah.
What is that? Can you the design though? Can you hold that up closer just so I can see what the more intricate design is?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I
Oh,
can't.
Yeah, no, there you go.
Nice.
It's floral. It looked like glasses.
It is floral. Guys, I love floral. I love.
Hell yeah.
A lot of the ties I make are floral. A lot of the reason I started making ties is I wanted floral ties, but I had weird rules for the ties that I wore. I was like, all right, ties, they have to be darker than the shirt that I'm wearing. They have to have less than 4 colors. They have to they can't be reflective. They can't be shiny. I have very specific rules for ties. But if you make your own tie, you can subvert the genre, right? Like you can go crazy with that.
Right.
You can do all these different things that you wouldn't be able to do if you weren't making your own
What
ties.
are some of the rules, quote unquote rules that you've broken at making ties?
So I do a lot of floral patterns, a lot of vintage floral, and a lot of kind of brighter things. But my favorite ties are like white ties, like really white ties with white floral on them. And they just like really pop, which is nice. Or if you wear them with a white shirt and like a blue suit, it looks really good. I'm a big fan of it. I also have like a bunch of blue floral patterns that I like. I have one pattern. It's like splotches of pink and blue and green that it doesn't sound like it should work, but it does work. So it's really exciting stuff.
Nice. I have
one.
I don't have nice clothes like that. I got a Daffy Duck tie that I got from Emma, or she got it for me. That was nice.
Chad, I'll make you a tie.
Okay.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
January 11th.
I'll make you a tie before your birthday then. I'm not waiting.
Okay.
Do you,
I don't really
tell
wear
me- tell me-
ties, but I mean, I have chances to wear ties plenty. So never mind. I do wear ties once in a while. When
I
host
have a
things.
habit of giving people the tie that I'm wearing. Like, one time I was at the Gov Cup and I was talking to the owner of the Gov Cup who was putting on a concert, and he's like, "Yeah, it's my birthday." I'm like, "No way! I got you this tie that I made. Thank
Nice.
you." Like, "No way, really?" Or like, I'll be at work and I'll be talking to people. They're like, "I love your tie." I'm like, "Oh, thank you. I made it." Like, "No way, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, not well." They're like, "It's so cool." I'm like, "Here, it's yours. I can make another." Like, I know where I got it. It's great.
Yeah.
I've given away like 15 ties. I should stop doing it at some point, but who knows?
I mean, unless you want to stop doing it, I don't think you need to, because that's a fun thing. If it's not that big of a deal to you and it's a bigger deal to other people. See,
well, then people are just like, "Where'd this guy give me his tie?" It's crazy.
yeah, there was I was at Great Clips or something like that, and I was wearing a pair of shoes that had "Why will it not stop smoking?
I don't
Make
know.
it stop smoking." They had they're just black shoes.
You sound like my mom in 7th grade. Just kidding.
And so this guy was sitting there, and he goes, "Man, those are cool shoes." And I have 2 identical pair of them. And I was just like, where I was there, and I was sitting there getting my hair cut. And I thought the whole time, I was like, is it going to be weird if I just offer this guy, if I ask what size of foot he has, and then I offer him my other pair of shoes, like I'll just go meet up with him? Because I think it'd be kind of cool to give him a pair of shoes. It'd mean a lot to him.
Yeah.
It's no big deal for me. And then
Yeah.
on the way out, I was like, "Hey, is this weird?" And then I just asked him, and he's like, "Are you serious? That would be amazing." And then I met up with him, and then I got his number, and he's like, "Hey, do you know anything cool around town?" And then I talked to him about the theater, and he's like, "Dude, I love comedy." And it was like,
It's great.
awesome. This all worked out really well.
The Infinity Rue, right?
Yeah, the Infinity Room. It's good now.
Rue?
They fixed it.
Rue. I'm gonna steal that letter. I'm gonna steal that M from the sign. Like, it's the Rue forever for me. That's the coolest thing. Like, because imagine you're just walking out of Great Clips, you're like, "Hey man, here's some shoes," and you toss him your shoes and you walk away. Like, that man for the rest of his life, he's been like, "This guy."
See,
He had the coolest shoes.
that's a little bit
And
different because I was wearing the shoes, and if someone's had their feet in something and then they gave that to me, I'd be like, "Ew, no, thank you."
you gotta commit to it though. Like, that's the coolest idea. Like, I love that type of thing where like where I will do something and I'll tell someone the story, like kind of like, "Oh yeah, I did this. I forgot about that, but I remember doing this." And people are like, that's the story they're gonna tell for their entire
Yeah.
life. And for you, it's an afterthought. Like, it's the best thing to do.
Yeah, it
For-
was just lucky that I had a new pair of them at home. They still had the like size 11. I think that's why I got rid of them. No, it was size 12. They were a little too small for me, and they still had the like sticker on them. So just brand new pair of shoes, like the exact colors that he was looking
man.
for too. It's great.
You're like a shoe fairy. That's amazing.
I'm a water fairy. I'm a shoe fairy. I'm also
my
sorts
daughter.
of fairies.
My daughter told me I should date the tooth fairy. I have not been successful yet, but like, fingers crossed.
Was that The Rock or Vin Diesel? Which one was that?
Emma,
That was The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
you know what? Dwayne Johnson, he seems very nice.
He does.
Yeah.
This man knows Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, yeah, I'll take it.
He's also a
Absolutely.
fucking giant, so you guys would fit together.
There you go.
We would go together like bop 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 shooba doo dop.
Ballop bang boom.
Birds of a feather. Like,
Is that what that's from?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
let's see. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something to you guys, but I want to know more. What else have you done that's like? What else have you done that's like a big thing for someone's life, but it was just nonsense for you? It doesn't have to be good things. It's
I
just
weird. I
things.
work at a pizza store, and so it means a lot to people if you just bring them like pizza. Like you might appreciate it when that person delivers you pizza. So
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to bring me pizza.
I don't know where you live, so it's a whole thing.
Or breadsticks.
Yep.
I don't know where you live either.
Yeah, I don't believe you. It's so confusing. Anyway, but like if I talk to someone and I'm like, "Hey, do you want some food?" and then they're like, "Sure," and then I say, "Okay, what do you want?" and I have them say like whatever they want, literally whatever you want. It's for free. I don't care because it's like worth zero to me, and people really appreciate it, and it's cool being able to do something like that.
That's awesome. I have been dropping off food for some restaurant
You're
owners
insane.
lately. Yeah.
Side note.
No, guys, I am an insane man. You don't. Yeah, absolutely. I was at the Black Lives Matter protest downtown, and I had a friend that
The
wanted
what?
to go see
Just kidding.
Black Lives Matter. I don't know if you've heard about that. Turns out black people are like people. It's crazy. Things I've learned. So my friend's like, hey, I want to go see those neo-Nazis that are like occupying this physical block.
So weird.
And so, yeah, it was a weird time. So we were walking down there, and on our way, we noticed that the frozen yogurt shop was open. And she's like, man, we should get frozen yogurt. So we went in, and we were chatting with the guy, and we were talking about food. And he's like, man, you need to stop talking about food. You're making me hungry. You got to bring in some food. And my friend said, you shouldn't say this. No, you don't understand. You don't know this guy. You shouldn't say. He goes, no, really, you should bring in some food. So I have 4 times now dropped off food for him. I have dropped off. I started off with a banh mi, which is a Vietnamese sandwich. So I take the pork, I brine the pork overnight, I pickle carrots overnight, I make my own mayonnaise.
Oh my god, sounds so good. I love banh mi.
A homemade Caesar salad to go with it,
Yeah.
obviously. Like I'm not gonna buy Caesar dressing. This isn't, you know. So I dropped off this whole sandwich. No way!
This
Like,
isn't,
so excited.
what? The real.
Listen, I'm not buying a jar of Caesar salad dressing or whatever. Like, it's so easy to make yourself. Just make it.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the ingredients to Caesar salad dressing.
Yes.
The 5 ingredients that go into Caesar dressing: vinegar, salt, pepper, and seasoning and vinegar.
You're so close. You're so
I
close.
mean, I could make it.
So what you want to do is you want to start with 1 egg yolk,
Ew.
a little bit of Dijon mustard, and some sort of an acid. Lots of times you use lemon juice or you use like a white wine vinegar or a red wine vinegar. And you'll whisk it and you'll slowly emulsify oil into it. And as it thickens, that's the start of your basic mayo. Eventually you're going to add in pepper and Parmesan cheese and anchovy and garlic. And salt. So a lot of times what they'll do if you're actually making it is you'll put like a bed of coarse salt and you'll put a couple cloves of garlic and a couple anchovies on, and you'll dice it all up really fine and mash it into itself with a knife, and then add that to the sauce. Yeah, and it's finished off with some lemon juice. Keep it light and fresh. Not too bad at all. Zach gets it. Zach knows. That's Zach. Anyways, so I dropped off a banh mi and some Caesar salad, and then I came back a few days later and I dropped off Nepalese food. So I dropped off momos and chicken takari, which is like this curried chicken.
Oh, is that why you had your
and
shirt off in the
rice.
beginning? For the
Yeah,
nipples?
For my nipples, for my nipple momos, you know. No, I had this meeting tomorrow. It doesn't matter. And then I've dropped off. What was it that I dropped off? I had some other stuff. I have Chinese food I'll be dropping off tomorrow. So I made like just Joan Chow's chicken with this black garlic honey, and I have like these pan fried noodles and those dumplings I made. So I'm gonna make more of that tomorrow. Drop it off for him. I dropped off some of the angel food cake at one point. Cookies. One time I just keep giving him food. I don't know what. Oh, hummus. That's right. Because I came in. And he's like, hey, do you have any vegetarian food? My employee is vegetarian. She wants to know if she can eat any of this. I'm like, no, none of that's vegetarian. She's like, oh, no worries. I'm like, but when do you work again? Like, let me know. So I came and I brought a bunch of homemade hummus. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's just nonsense. People are like, it's nice.
There you go. No, that's...
It's not nice. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like... It's me being like, what's the most ridiculous thing that I can do? Oh, adopt the owner of a frozen yogurt shop. I don't even like frozen yogurt. Like, this is not like a mutual thing. This is.
But it is hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's really funny.
You're truly the definition of chaotic good.
I would hope so. I used to do this thing called Grant's List, where I would go to our local grocery stores and I had signs printed out that said Grant's Choice. and I would put these little badges and signs.
Does it have your face? And you're like...
No. It just said Grant's Choice because I didn't want to know who it was. Like it's so all of a sudden like these neon signs and like these little badges and like stars would start popping up that said Grant's Choice on products that I endorsed. And I had a friend that worked at the store and she was telling me like people keep asking like who's put it like wow what's like did you see the new Grant's Choice? And, like it started to catch on and it made me so happy.
Like what kind of stuff would you put it on?
Like Winco brand butter because like you don't need to. Listen, if you are splurging for the brand name butter, you've been duped. Guess what, guys? It's butter. Like the Winco brand salted butter is everything you need. It's fine. It's fine.
So do you have something similar to this written out on the Grant's Choice badge, or is it just the badge and no further explanation?
It's just the badge, and I stick it on like the price thing. Like they have like the big 8.5 by 11, like Winco butter for $1.98. I'm like Grant's Choice, like, and yeah, we just endorsed some products but I didn't force it. Like I found products that really spoke to me, right?
I respect that.
Juanita's chips. I endorsed Juanita's chips. Now I will say, people are gonna be like, "Oh man, Juanita's," because it's controversy. They did get too greasy eventually, right? So then Don Pedro's chips became the chips of choice. But now Juanita's back.
I find Don Pedro's too dry.
Yep. They switched platforms. You know.
Emma and I were grocery shopping at Winco, and then I asked her opinion. And what was the chips that we got?
Juanita's.
Was it? It's not Santitas, right?
No,
it's Juanita's. Are you kidding me? That trash.
Actually, okay. So yeah, no, I definitely know that face right there is with the face that she made when we were there, and I was like, this one or this one, and then she made that face and then pointed at the other one. She didn't have the attitude.
I just said Juanita's.
It was just like,
yeah,
obviously.
Do you guys grocery shop together?
We did, yeah.
Can I come?
Have plenty of time.
Yeah,
that'd be really nice. Let's do it. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I think this would be a blast.
Cool.
What other nonsense have I done? Oh. Did you guys know that Salem, Oregon has a soy sauce factory?
A soy sauce factory?
It doesn't surprise me. They had a mushroom plant. I deliver to the tortilla factory all the time. All the weed places that make gummy bears.
Wait. You deliver to the tortilla factory?
All the time.
You can get me into the tortilla factory?
I hate that place. No, I don't think I'm allowed there anymore because they keep yelling at their employees that they're stupid.
That's not nice. I don't like that.
Well, they come out. They come outside and they yell at me like, "You came too early. My lunch break isn't for 20 minutes." And I'm like, "You should have made it a timed order." I didn't know I could do that. Why are you ordering pizza? What are you doing?
Who orders pizza for the lunch break? I guess you probably know.
Idiots that work at a tortilla factory.
I used to work for a pizza place. It was my first job. I was tossing pizza.
I love it when I talk about delivering pizza, and then people go like, "Oh, I used to do that back when I was all irresponsible."
No. I didn't deliver pizza. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't there for like the A League. I was tossing pizza. It was different. I threw it in the air. I put sauce on it and stuff.
I do that too.
I made the pizza. Yeah. No, and then I sent it out with the real heroes.
Okay, yeah.
The delivery guys. Yeah.
I do both those things. Not all the time, but yeah. Full service.
Salem has a soy sauce factory, and I found this out last July, about a year ago now. And I was like, well, I got to tour the soy sauce factory. Come on. Like, of course I do. So I started calling them and emailing them every day, asking if I could tour the soy sauce factory. And to my surprise, they never got back to me.
Never? Wow.
So one day, like all of a sudden I had resolve in my heart. Like I just realized today's the day. And after work, I drove to the soy sauce factory. And they have like a 2-door system, like an airlock, like at a mall. So I got through the first doors, no problem. Things are going great. Things are good. Second doors, those are locked. And they have like a fingerprint thing. And it does not like my fingerprints. This thing's not letting me through. But they do have a phone with like a directory, right? So I start calling down the directory number by number. And eventually I get to someone, they're like, well, we don't really do tours. Like, I don't know, maybe for like church groups or something, but like we don't do tours. I was like, okay, if it was for a church group, who would arrange that? So they gave me the name. And like, luckily I'm standing here next to the directory. So I find the name and I call the name. We talked for like 5 minutes and she's like, you know what? Let me come out. So she comes out to me. We talked for 40 minutes in the like breezeway of this soy sauce factory. And she's like, you know, I'll be right back. She comes back and she brings me soy sauce, which was lovely. Thank you so much. Yamasa, I'll give him a shout out. And she has a notebook and she's like, all right, listen, give me your name and number. So I gave her my name and number and I was like, hey, I don't know. Like the lady on the phone said church groups. Like, do I need like a group do I need to get a church group together? Like, cause I'll do it if I have to. And she said, listen, I'm sure you could get a church group together. You're extremely convincing. But like I said, you're extremely convincing. I don't think you have to do that. I'm just going to make this happen for you. So she's like, yeah, we're way better than Kikimans. And I said, are you kidding me? I wouldn't wash my laundry in Kikkoman. No. So right, and then right after that happened, we got shut down.
Damn.
So it never came to
So
fruition.
you have that tour
they-
just looming in your future.
Yeah, I was fortunate. Like 2 days before the quarantine happened, I did tour a print shop in Albany, which was great. I love print shops. Have you guys ever been to a print shop?
I've been to one. I haven't toured it, but I look at the stuff in the back and go, "That's a big printer."
Guys, it's so cool. You gotta go to a print shop. I have toured maybe 6 print shops, some multiple times. They're lovely. They're amazing.
I went to a print shop, or it was formerly. Never mind.
Tell me more. Tell me
No,
more.
that-
What was it for?
That was it. We're gonna wrap up here, but Grant, you are an absolute delight. You're one of my favorite people. You make me very happy every time I'm around you, and I feel like anybody else around you has that feeling, except for your kids when they're in trouble.
They're the worst. Those guys. You kidding me? Hey, I love you both, and I'm really glad I got a chance to talk to you.
Love you too.
Yeah, I
You're
love you,
fantastic.
buddy. You're a treasure.
I told you guys next time I do this podcast, I'm making you both dinner because it'll be after quarantine.
Oh yeah,
But
now I'm
serious-
because a lot of people say things to me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it. But now I understand you a lot more.
Seriously though, every other week, whenever you guys want to have me on, I love this.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I want to tell you. I wasn't going to tell you before, but I will tell you now. I told you I'm going kayaking tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
I still have like a job. Yeah, I'm going kayaking in the Columbia River tomorrow
yeah.
for 9 hours. But I still have like a job. So my plan is to be at work at 3 a.m. tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, so I can do my job and then go kayaking.
Oh, you let us keep
Okay.
you so late.
Okay, just real quick.
Yeah,
What do you do?
yeah.
Oh yeah, great question.
I work for the state.
So you can just clock in whenever you want.
Yeah. Well, you know, I keep track of when I work and what I do, but I have a lot of, I'm a manager, so I have a lot of ability to flex my time, and I'm not like constrained by union rules about when I need to take a break and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, it's nice that you'll get a good night's sleep, and you didn't like drink or anything or eat right before you went to bed, so you'll sleep really well, and you'll be well rested for your kayak trip right after work in the morning.
This is how I live my life. Like, this is like prime. This is good stuff.
I feel like you use like you're one of those people that used to do a lot of like cocaine and heroin, and you're like, oh nope, I'm clean now, but I have to just maintain, or else it's all gonna come crashing down.
Guys, if I don't keep this momentum, I will die.
Yeah.
I've been doing this nonstop. I'm so tired, and I just want to stop, and I can't stop one-upping myself and just adding to my newest hobby is just like committing to things that can't be done. And
I can't wait for like just look up in the sky and see the skywriting thing. It's just like Grant Yoder. That's it. And so many people in Salem go, yeah, that makes total sense.
Chad, you can't say these things.
You've cursed
I
him.
can't stress this enough. I will have to do it. I have to stop.
Boy, I
seriously,
can't.
though,
I you know what? I bet Grant couldn't get a few nights of very full, well-rounded sleep.
I refuse.
I bet he couldn't do it.
I won't fall for that. I'm not a fool. I'm a fool. Actually, I know we're gonna go. But I have a friend who always gives me a hard time.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
He might fall, but Zach just got home. Hold on,
Oh,
a
God.
little further. There you go.
There he is. Oh,
Zach, give me
careful.
another kiss.
Oh, he
Oh,
can't-
no.
He can't.
Good night,
he can't hear
Caper.
you, but he does want to kiss. Zach, little kiss, little kiss.
Right here.
There you go. Careful.
Oh
careful.
God. Oh my God.
Careful on the table.
Oh my gosh.
You got it.
Whoa.
Alright.
Hey Zach, I don't want to be sad right now, but that was the first kiss I've had in over 2 years.
He says that's the first kiss he's had in over 2 years. So he loves you.
Which is true. Hi, dog. So I was at a protest recently. I won't say what for. And my friend was like, "Hey, did you hear that?" I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah." After the 5th person came up to you and said, "Hey, Grant, how's it going?" The people behind us said, "Who is this guy?"
Oh, wall run.
That was one.
Weird.
Oh yeah, I was one of
Very
those
impressive.
people. I saw you a few days.
Yeah, I had a great time. I was so happy to see
Yeah.
you. It's been so long since I've seen you.
Yeah,
And
so
me
nice.
and your friend Jessica might start a podcast about tea.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah.
I don't think we're
Jessie's
really
cool.
going to do it because I don't know her. But
Well,
Oh.
you should. She's
talked a
wonderful.
lot about it.
Yeah, Jessie.
tell her tell her that I said I'm still waiting for that podcast. Let's do it.
I'll let her know.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you
Thank you so
very
much.
soon, as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Good night,
All
guys.
right, good night.
Bye, Grant.
Chad Johnson can suck my throbbing dong.
Well, that was the longest podcast we've recorded.
I
ever.
think so.
I
Yeah.
think it was. I'm going to put it up in 2 parts.
That's a good idea.
I'm really going to. Thank you very much for being here on the Podchaost. Thanks with us.
What a delight.
What
that
a
Grant
what a
Yoder.
delight.
Truly.
I can't believe. I don't know. It's going to bug me. That's why he does it. Just that.
It's to
See,
fuck with you.
Yeah, just to fuck with people, but in his nice, crazy, weird way.
Yeah, there's no negative consequence.
Yeah, it really is something that.
He's just challenging your pessimism.
Okay. Well,
Final thoughts.
final thoughts. Be more like someone who really wants to just make people delighted, but also like whimsicated. What's the word? If you could whimsicalize someone,
Yeah.
add whimsy to their life.
What was the word you used earlier? Twitter-pated?
Twitter-pated. That's the owl from something.
Hmm.
No, it's the seagull, isn't it?
Mysticized.
No, Twitter-pated. Send us in emails. We'll get to the emails next week of which movie Twitter-pated is from, because I don't want to use this. It's too much work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good
Thanks.
time.